He's been involved in organised crime for decades and he's only 48.
You could start any car with a screwdriver. When I was 14, I had the longest recorded police chase in the UK. There was 2 helicopters involved. In all the alleys, I go on 2 wheels, handbrake turns, game of cat and mouse. But they can never catch me. If you see my criminal record, it's terrible. I got nicked for the drug smuggling, like 95 offences in 1 conviction. Guys, I've never seen that before. Well, at 17, I was committing armed robberies. It's go in there, nobody move.
Nobody move, nobody get hurt.
There's a Thomas Cook's always had a bureau de change in the corner, and there'd be like 20, 30 grand in there. It's easy. If it weren't tied down, we were nicking it. Like every confrontation I got into, I won it. I've been hit on the head with chairs. There was no fear. I was in such violent places, you had to go in the shower with a blade in your bum cheeks, but the right hand did prevail. I got the liquid kosh, but the experience I went for, I thought I was going to die. They put me in a straitjacket, put me in a padded cell. I met big time criminals, going across the channel smuggling my own drugs. And there'd be a little building up with a JCB and you'd be like, oi boys, look, we can do this job. You know what I mean? And then you just go and rip it out. We basically went round to all the drug dealers and threatened. But this one kid kept doing it. Yeah, I ended up kidnapping him. Speedboats at first, I've done it on a jet ski. I've tried it all. I was called Glen the offender. I find devices on my car and I put it on someone else's car. I've got like goggles, infrared goggles. In a boat. It's following me. Is it going to bite the boat? So I've literally just stopped. Pulled the knife out. I got nicked again in the English Channel. People trafficking. All you're doing is giving someone a lift. Yeah, what a bad mistake that was. So I'm sitting there cable tied up like that. I've got off and they're going, criminal. It's not what they know, it's what they can prove. Yeah, and it just all ended up in tragedy. Everyone got nicked. Game over.
Let me tell you more about today's incredible sponsor, Blakey Trades. This is trading education, not financial advice, not hype, and not one of those signal groups full of screenshots and bullshit. It's focused on the gold market, but what sets it apart is the structure. You learn why trades are taken, how to manage risk properly, and how mindset and discipline actually matters if you really want to last. There are weekly Zoom calls, live breakdowns, and proper explanations, not just copy this and pray. Nothing's forced, and you're in control the whole time. If you're done guessing and want to learn how trading actually works, I'm telling you from first-hand experience, this is the business. Get involved, smash that link, and join the Blakey Trades crew, and we will see you all on the other side. Welcome back to the Criminal Connection podcast. My name's Terry Stone, aka The Podfather. Today, we've got a world exclusive. We've got one of my old mates from back in the day. He's been involved in organised crime for 4 decades and he's only 48. So that shows you he started young. So please put your hands together for Mr. Glen Johnson's in house. Woohoo!
How you doing, Terry? You all right?
I thought you said you were excited about coming on.
I try to contain myself.
But no, thank you so much for coming on, Glen. A lot of people that will know you are obviously on the other side, as they say, but the man on the street probably will not know who you are, which is good. But obviously we're going to change all that because we've got one of the best crime authors, probably I'd say she's definitely in the top 10 in the world, writing a trilogy of books about Glen's lives, times and escapades. So we're honoured to have you on, Glen, but we'd really love to just let our viewers and listeners hear a little bit about who is the real Glen Johnson.
I really appreciate it. I didn't ever think I was going to do the podcast, you know. Right. I've kind of like avoided it because I'm proud of what I've gone through in it, you know. Right. But there's a reason why I'm doing it, and that's why I'm here today.
Amazing.
Because I just don't want anyone to go through what I went through in my life, you know. Right. And if I can just change one person's life, then it was worth it.
Yeah. So let's talk about growing up in Farnborough, in Hampshire, and obviously where it all started, really.
Yeah. My family are from all over London,
right?
Liverpool, Birmingham, Manchester. So it wasn't just Farnborough, you know. It started off in Farnborough,
right?
But it was all over the place as well, you know.
Right.
So I was born in Surrey,
right?
Frinley Park Hospital.
Yeah.
1976. And my mum's side of the family were from Aldershot. That time, my mum's side were all like the Scousers, my granddad and that, you know. So we had 5 brothers, all bricklayers.
So when you misbehaved, they said, calm down, calm down.
calm down. All like Irish gypsy descent.
Right, okay, so you got that whole Irish Scouse.
Yeah, my granddad was a tinker, yeah.
Right,
Irish, and the whole family come from Ireland. My nan, my granddad's mum was a gypsy psychic, like a medium. And it's kind of passed down the gift, you know.
Right.
My granddad, my mum, and myself.
Wow.
I hear things, Terry.
Really?
I feel it, yeah.
You're not like that kid, are you? I see dead people.
Yeah, reading your mind. Oh, you dirty boy. I pack it in, Terry.
But, you know, one of the stories you told me that made me laugh was when you got expelled from play school. I mean, I don't know anybody
I know.
who's been expelled from play school, so well done.
Well, I was diagnosed with hyperactivity at 3. There was no such thing as ADHD when I was a kid. It was just hypo, which is it's the same thing. So I just had mad energy. I just never seemed to calm down.
Right.
But I was kicked out of probably, I think, 2 or 3 nurseries.
Wow.
They couldn't control me.
So what was the incident that led you to be
I just wanted to play with all the toys, you know, and obviously the other kids weren't happy about it, so I was just pushing them around. I think I was a biter.
Right, okay.
My mum had to come and get me from one of them. They got in contact, was like, look, you got to come and get your boy. Right. And it was just like a load of kids crying, and then me in a little room with all the toys.
And obviously growing up in Farnborough, I mean, was you on the Ansel?
No, we was on the GLC, original GLC.
Okay.
We moved into Tottenham Close in 1978. It wasn't even finished.
Right.
They were still building one whole side of it, so we was the first people in there. Right. We was actually the second family, me and my mum.
Wow.
136 Tottenham Close in 1978, I think, something like that. Yeah. Right. So it was just me and my mum to start with.
Yeah.
And it was just so diverse, you know what I mean?
Right. And when you grew up, obviously, when you were sort of biting the other kids, and was you always fighting from a young age?
No, I was quite like passive as a kid. Right. I wasn't like that at all. I didn't realise what I was. I was quite soft, you know, really. Yeah. Because I was an only child. I was sport by all my uncles and all that, you know. Right. But it wasn't until I got older that I started fighting back, you know. Right. Because I hate bullies. Right. So there was a little bit of bullying going on. So as I got older, I just completely rebelled against it.
Right. And when would you say, obviously that happened at play school, but when would you say that you started actually doing, you know, you got sucked into the crime?
Thieving.
Thieving.
It was just little things at first. I'd steal stuff. Right. Like, and I'll just hide it in there, you know what I mean? I can remember being at school and I nicked this, it's like a little elephant. It had all glitter and that on it. But I wouldn't take it in the house. I left it outside on the balcony. Right. Anyway, it got lost. And I remember when I was about 6 or 7, maybe a bit younger than that, that was my first like confrontations with the police. Right. I got caught stealing out of the NSS, the little news agents in the square.
Oh, the NISA?
Yeah.
Right.
I was nicking paper and pens and that. Right. And then the woman police come around, you know, and like she bought me pens and paper. That was the first time. And since then, you know, it just got worse and worse.
And so the police then obviously turned up at your house.
Yeah. I'll never forget, it was a woman. Right. And she was like, oh, he's so nice and all that. You shouldn't be stealing. And she was giving me loads of stuff and that. I loved it. Right.
And then where did it go from there? I mean, because did you, you know, you've obviously got that. I mean, they didn't actually arrest you, did they?
No,
they just come and give you a
little
warning.
telling off on it, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, like my mum got married young, you know, she had me when she was very young. But there was violence, you know, my real dad was a violent man and he was, I see stuff as a child that I shouldn't have seen. Right. Which is never no good, you know, which affects you as later on in years. So my early memories of him were not nice, you know.
Was that him sort of beating you and your
my
mum?
mum, yeah. Not me, he didn't put no hands to me, but you know, I saw him seeing my mum at a young age, like real naughty, horrible things that I don't need to go into. Yeah. But I can remember it vividly, you know. So violence as a child is never good.
Well, the thing is, I think anybody who's been brought up in an environment where they've either been beaten or they've seen one of their parents be beaten, it does affect them.
Massively, yeah. It affects people differently. Some people just can't never get around it and they go into different things, you know? Yeah. But and then obviously my stepdad came in then, who brought me up since I was a baby. Right. And he's like Jamaican. Yeah. So then I was massively diverse, Irish, Gypsy, Jamaican. Right. So I was so multicultural. Yeah. And I never got a bit of racism in me, do you know what I mean? Right. Which I'm so thankful for. Yeah. And it was a beautiful thing, really. So I'm just trying to spread the word. Yeah. Continually, you know?
And how did you progress from there? I mean, was you, when the police come in the house and give you the warning, you know, did that frighten you as a kid, or did you, or did it encourage you?
I've got a bit of hot feet knowing that I've been caught. Right. But when the woman police officer come around, it felt all right, you know? Right. But I didn't realise, I was so young. Yeah. I was so young, I didn't really think, I wasn't really thinking anything. Right. But it just continued, you know?
And what was the next step after that? What was the...
yeah, and then we lived on the GLC. I think I was still about 8 or 9, something like that. and then we got another council house.
Yeah.
And then we all moved in as a family and that. And then I had a sister, like other siblings and that, you know. And yeah, quite a normal upbringing, loads of love and all that, you know.
Yeah.
Especially my dad, like, as he took the covenant, as they say,
Right.
and grew locks and turned into Rastafarianism. My family were very big Rastas, you know, and it was a very spiritual, lovely thing, you know, which I'm very thankful for. Saved me, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just, when I got to about 12, 13, my mum and dad separated. And that was when the real shit started, you know?
Right.
Because obviously I didn't realise I was heartbroken. Because obviously my dad had left. But you don't realise it at the time.
Right.
I didn't realise that until I was later on in my 18 or 19, something like that. And yeah, then I started stealing bicycles in that first. Bikes, and then it got into motorbikes.
And where did you steal the bikes? Was it literally just on the road, or did you break into any?
Yeah, there was like sheds and that, you know, you train stations, get in there, cut them off, or sit in people's gardens, you know. I was just, not good really, but I couldn't help it.
Right.
But everyone was doing it.
Did you ever thought about doing a Halfords heist?
I actually had a bike from Halfords and it was bought for me.
Oh, really?
My dad bought it for me, yeah. ANC Halfords, I never forget it. I was so pleased with it.
Right.
But yeah, and it just escalated from there, really.
Right. And what was you doing? Was you just stealing them for a laugh, or was you stealing them to sell them?
I should just take them apart for parts and that, and then I'd sell bits and bobs and that, make bikes up at school, sell them on. I was always spraying and stuff like that, so I was quite talented.
Right.
But and it just became like an addiction.
You had your own chop shop?
Yeah, I did. The whole garden was just full of wheels, man. You know what I mean? Like I remember when the police did come round once, because someone said I was nicking bikes, you know what I mean? But they came round and there was just stuff everywhere.
Right.
But there was no way I was selling any of it was stolen. Right. Because it was just all in bits, you know what I mean? So there's no way.
Yeah.
But I was just like, no, just collect it.
And then from there, what was the next step? Because obviously you've gone from just stealing bikes as a laugh, and then you've started making a lot of business out of it.
Yeah, and I left school early. Then I started fighting in school and that, you know. Right. Started rebelling.
Was you actually training then, or was you just right? Okay.
I weren't doing nothing.
Right.
But my family, my granddad was a boxer. You know, he was an army boxer.
So he showed you a few moves.
Yeah, he showed me some good moves. But he was like a trainer at the Maido in Aldershot.
Right.
He was like a British Army champion, you know. So I had the pedigree there, and my granddad was a bare knuckle fighter. Old Charlie Brannan. He was always fighting outside the pubs and all the, what is it, on the cobbles they say back then,
cobbles, yeah.
So it was always there. My uncles was always fighting and that, but it was in the blood. It was in the Irish blood, you know what I mean? The fight. My mum had it as well. My mum had a good punch in her, you know. Right. So it was just naturally in my heart, but I didn't really discover it. Yeah. Until I got a little bit older, you know, and I realised I had it.
And what age did you actually just say, this and leave school? I
ran away. So I wasn't interested in school at all, because I just couldn't accept any kind of like being told what to do. So like I got expelled like from secondary school quite early. I think it was like 4th year mocks. Got expelled from there, and then I started stealing cars.
Did you go to like stealing car school, or did you just get a screwdriver?
Nah, I'll tell you what happened. It was a guy called Jay Bishop started doing it first. Well, on their council estate, all the elders were nicking cars. There was always stolen bikes and that around. Right. Do you know what I mean? You can see cars with ignitions hanging out, and they'd all jump in them and go to raves and that. Right. So I always knew that they were nicking motors, you know what I mean? So I was always in a car around the estate, someone rallying it, and you know, there was a big dump around the back, and there was always that kind of thing going on. So it was like second nature to me, really.
So you was like Don Strato, weren't you, in the Fast and the Furious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was you just doing it for a laugh initially?
Well, it was in the early 90s. There was an epidemic of joyriding. It was like a big thing in the 90s, and it was always all over the news. Joyriders sticking cars, and there was always videos of police chases and that. So I kind of like got hooked into it, because obviously I ran away from home, and there was another couple of delinquents that I teamed up with, and together we were just like 3 big problems, you know. Right. And we just went out nicking motors, mate, up and down the country. And there was no alarms on cars then, or no immobilisers. So pretty much any vehicle that was on the road, you could get it started with a screwdriver.
Really? Yeah. So what was that? The
reason why we used to do it, the reason why they started immobilisers, all the keys were immobilised, because of the thieving epidemic in the 90s. Right. So then you can.
It's all your fault, Glenn.
Well, I've got to admit it. You know what I mean? It's a horrible thing to admit. You know what I mean? Because it's all not nice getting the car.
But you
can start any car with a screwdriver.
So you do the window, and then
we did a lock breaking to lock.
Right.
And we used to time each other. Right. And I think I had the fastest time, and I stole a Vauxhall Astra in like 12 seconds or something. In it,
Wow.
unlocked it in it, steering lock, and started it to drive off. Like,
And is it just literally you once you've actually got in and picked the lock?
Yeah.
You get into the thing, and then what do? You take the thing
Yeah, you
off,
could just.
and then
there's
is it
certain
just the
cars-
wires?
No, yeah. Some cars you had to hot wire.
Right.
Other cars, like some cars, were just so easy to steal. Like you could put a pair of scissors in the lock, push it up, the door lock will come up. I get in it, rip the cowling off, and you snap the steering lock, and it'd all fall off. And you just like. It was ridiculously easy. Do you know what I mean? It was a bit of a problem, really, but I suppose I was asking for it.
And did you ever have any sort of police chases when you was doing it?
Yeah, I had when I was 14, I had the longest recorded police chase in the UK at that time. Yeah, 3 counties.
Wow.
I rammed the police car off a bridge. I went to visit my mate in prison,
Right.
and I was a skinny little 14-year-old kid with travel fox on and the United Colours of Bellet on.
Yeah.
Went to visit my mate in Guy's Marsh prison. Obviously, the staff were looking at me because I got a brand new Cavalier GSI 4x4 out the back. And they're thinking, as this little kid driving this big flash car, do you know what I mean? So as we came out, they tried to block us in, and that was it. And this was Guy's Marsh is in Wiltshire, isn't it? Like
Right.
past Stonehenge. And we were living in Surrey, you know what I mean? Like right up near the 3 counties. So it started there, ran the car off the bridge, and then we got a flat tyre. We went into a farm, changed the tyre, and then got chased all the way back, helicopter up. There was 2 helicopters involved.
Wow.
So many police cars. Back then, it's all changed now. It's all controlled from a control centre, but back then it was just all mayhem.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were trying to ram me out, they were getting in the way. Every police car was involved, but now they don't do that because it's all from a control centre.
And
helicopter following
And did you
me.
get away?
I got away, yeah.
How did you get away from that then?
So we ended up in the Hawley Woods, right near my mum's house.
Right.
And the helicopter was landed and ran out of petrol.
Right.
I remember seeing it, and the tops of the blades hit the fence in the park.
Right.
And I ran away. I lost my trainer and that.
Right.
Got police over. He punched me in the head. I was only little. I ran through the gardens that hid in the tree.
Right.
But what I did was I ran past the tree, and then jumped in the grass and double backed.
Right.
And then I climbed up to the tree. I was freezing cold, and then the dog went past where I'd gone, and they jumped on some random fella. I thought he was a driver, so I just hid in the tree, you know. But I got nicked for it anyway because my fingerprints was all over it.
Right.
But I got away.
Right.
But
Wow.
that was the start of it, really.
And then the next day from there, when you got your first, I'd say that was probably your first proper nicking, wasn't it? Where they actually,
There was loads of them. Yeah, I kept getting nicked all the time for stealing cars and that. I was a prolific car thief, and I was a guy out at night. And back then, the police were different. Do you know what I mean?
Did you monetize it though, Glenn, or not? Did you actually, like when you were stealing them? Did you actually make money out of it?
I used to get money out of it. Yeah.
Oh, right. So it was actually.
I used to do it to order. You know, there's a big travelling man that I
Right.
met when I was young. I won't say his name, but he knows who he is.
Right. Oh, I know who he is.
You will know.
Oh,
who he is,
okay.
yeah. Well, I won't say his name. But obviously, everyone was nicking motors. You know what I mean? But I was so good at it,
Right.
and I got a list. I remember it was just like I got a list of cars. There's probably about 10 cars on this list.
Wow.
And he said, "Look, if you can get me these, I'll pay you."
And what did you get per car? Was it like $1,000 or something, or was it?
No, it's peanuts, man. Back
Right.
then.
But then,
I
as
didn't
a
even
kid,
care.
it was a lot of money, right?
I didn't even care. It was just a challenge. So he gave me the list of cars, and then within 24 hours, they were just parked up everywhere. It was like the Fast and Furious, you know. What's that film with Nicolas Cage?
Oh,
They nickel the cars.
fucking hell, I can't think what it's called. Do you know what it's called, Bob?
Yes, it gone in 60
Gone
seconds.
in 60 seconds.
And I literally gone up the site the next day, and I was like, look, he's like, all these cars in there. He's like, fucking hell, how'd you do it that quick? And I was like, oh, that's what I do.
Show me the money.
Because I had so much energy.
Right.
The challenge was there, a bit like adrenaline junkie, really.
Right.
And I just went out and got them all, do you know what I mean? But I was so talented and I could drive as well. So I'd be walking down the road in the afternoon, the local police would go past in like the Vauxhall Centre. Well, back then they had the Range Rovers with the big tit on the side. Remember the big tits?
Right, yeah.
And they go, hey, we'll see you later, Johnson. I'll be like, not if I see you first. It was a game. But they can never catch me.
Right.
Even if I was in a shit motor, I was so good.
Right.
I know all the alleys. I go on 2 wheels. I go through gaps. You know what I mean? Like, the handbrake turns, and it was like such a game of cat and mouse.
Right.
And I know for a fact that they really liked it.
Yeah.
But as illegal as it was, but I just did not give a fuck.
And when you got nicked for it,
Yeah.
what was it? I mean, did you get bird foot or
When I
not?
was so young,
Right. So
they
it was
couldn't
just
do nothing to me.
So it was just a slap on the wrist.
Well, I wasn't
don't
even
do it again.
16, do you know what I mean? So I was getting arrested. I'd get an interview. Appropriate adult would come in. Well, by them times, my mum wasn't even allowed to because they forced an order on her.
What was that?
To sign me over to the local authority because I was so naughty.
Right.
And they threatened to take away my brothers and that, do you know what I mean? So my poor mum had no choice but to sign me over. And then they put me in St Mary's Children's Home in Aldershot. Well, that was even better.
Right.
Because then I just did not give a fuck at all. And then I just made me worse. And they kept getting all these like ex-SAS in, army, soldiers, different women and that, like as a juvenile, like, what's to call it, like a youth worker.
Right.
To try and like connect with me.
Right.
And I was just like, yeah, f off. I didn't care. And I said, go and get nicked. I go out, have a mad police chase, ram all the police cars. So many times I've lost count. Right. If you see my criminal record, it's terrible.
How many, what would you, have you added it up, how many things?
It's too many. It's
Do you think it's over 1,000?
What, convictions? Nah. I think it was like, it was real high. It was. I remember when I got nicked for the drug smuggling. It was something like 95 offences in one conviction.
Wow.
And the barrister was like, I've never seen it. He goes, I've never seen that before. He goes,
I reckon you should add it up because at the back of the book, we've got to put that in the book.
I've got it. The pages are like that.
Many,
like my criminal records is so bad. But most of it's just, it ain't nothing like bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't ever burgling houses, nothing like that, or nothing sexual.
Yeah.
But I'll write that out when I give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah? It was just all car thefts.
Right. And how long did you do that for, Glenn? Was it a couple of years or?
I never thought I was going to stop doing it. It was a problem. Like, it was such a problem, stealing cars.
Most kids were playing computer games then, you were nicking cars.
I did eventually, I didn't care. I did eventually stop it. I started young because I got away with it for a few years, you know what I mean? Like, no one knew I was doing it.
Right.
So I was always have a little car at the road and I go out and jump in it and go and pick my mates up.
Did you actually go and learn to drive? Did you actually get a drive?
Well, the worst thing was my uncles taught me how to drive.
Okay, so you
Thanks, uncles, yeah, you started it. That's the worst thing, because I could drive a car from young.
Right.
Like probably about 9 or 10. Because my uncles used to sit me on their laps. And then I steer it at first, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then I first drove a car, I nicked my mum's car.
Right.
My mum went away and I was just so desperate to do it, do you know what I mean? So like, I remember putting markers where the car was parked.
Right.
So I knew exactly where it was.
Right.
I remember driving it and I did it fine. I only went around the block a few times, you know what I mean? Went up the road and that, put it back and I was like, yeah, I can do it, you know? And then it just escalated from there, to be honest with you. And I had my own car at school.
Right.
I swapped it for a monkey bike. Yeah, I'll never forget it. It was an Avenger Chrysler.
Right.
And I remember the number plate.
And from there, what was the next step in? I mean, obviously you become this prolific sort of car thief.
Yeah, it became like a problem. I was addicted to it. It don't matter what I did or what anyone tried to do for me. I'd always find myself with my mates nicking cars. Right. So I mean, Golf GTIs, and then they got all sporty. You know what I mean? Astra GTEs, you know, Cosworths, and the cars just got better.
Right.
And then I got better at doing it, got more skilled, and we was turning alarms off, and we was selling the cars.
Right.
And then we was earning money out of it. So I always had the latest trainers on, nice clothes, and a pocket full of readies.
Right, wicked.
You know? So, and I was always the kid that stuck out because I come from the fucking streets, but I always had all the best stuff. And it just escalated from there, really.
And then what was the next sort of step for you on that crime ladder after studying the things?
Yeah, well, that went on for years and years and years, and they kept me out of prison. So I should have gone in prison young, really, but because I had an order from the children's homes, they were like inclined to protect me a bit more. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it was like they were failing themselves,
right?
Because they took the onus on themselves. And
that's probably give you a lot of get out of jail free card.
It was a get out of jail card because they so desperately tried to keep me out of prison that they were kind of shooting themselves in the foot. Because every time I went to court, they kept letting me off with it. You know what I mean? They kept like.
I suppose there was no deterrent, was there? And if there's no deterrent, it's like they're encouraging you to.
I didn't care. You got to understand. Like I think this is the problem. Because I had so much energy, ADHD, and maybe other stuff. I just didn't care. I just wanted. If it was naughty, I'd do it. Right. If it was a big crane or something, I was the one that wanted to climb to the top.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when we lived in the flats in Totland, there was at the back of the chip shop there was like a big flume,
right? And
we used to go over the railings like 3-4 stories up. Like, if you fell off, you were finished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we used to go around the edge of the flats out, outside on the edge with our fingers in the bricks, and then sit behind a flume and smoke fags in it. That was a little shit.
Right.
Yeah. I was so naughty. I just didn't care. And the more naughty it was, the more I wanted to do it.
Right. And I suppose then that also attracted other people that they were like, this kid's up for anything?
Well, we all attracted naughty other people. Like, we'd make each other naughtier, you know what I mean?
So what was the next naughty
But
thing
generally,
you did?
kids off a council estate are fucking naughty,
Well,
Terry.
absolutely.
Excuse my language.
No, you can swear.
Yeah, we're allowed to swear.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, when I grew up on the Old Dean,
Yeah.
it was similar to the Answer and the Tottenham, but it was, you know, the car
It wasn't
theft.
as bad as Tottenham, I don't think.
No, I
But
think-
you had there was a lot of car thieving going on at your estate because you had the forest at the back, remember?
And also, there was the Highwayman pub, which was like,
It was like the hub.
it was the hub of the, fights.
Everyone just smoked puff and everyone was selling puff
Yeah, I mean,
and all that, wasn't they?
It was mad. And I remember, because there was, and this might have been a bit after your time, but we used to do an event in Farnborough at the Leisure Centre.
Oh, right.
Like a rave there.
Yeah, I used to go there. That's my first rave.
Right, well,
Evolution.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Rosala.
Yeah. So I was there, and that was, but then you had the people from the Totland, the GLC,
Everyone
you had the
was there,
Ansel, you had the Old Dean, like it was
All the
like
shop,
all,
like-
all the council estates.
Yeah.
Everyone just went to the
But
rave.
everyone was from London, weren't they?
Yeah. Because I think that's where people had moved down either from London or, like
Yeah.
you said, they were from London
Well, the
originally.
Greater London Council was London Overflow then. So everybody was coming from the city and that's all, but all the rough parts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were doomed, weren't we? Of course, there was going to be a bit of car thieving.
And what was the next step for you then? Because when did you actually get into fighting? And actually training? Because obviously,
Yeah, I didn't do it till late, really, because I got locked up from young, I went away when I was 17.
so you're doing the car thefts.
Yeah.
What did you get away for that? Or was that something
Yeah,
else?
so I got like a minor, I got 6 months when I was 17 for loads of stuff. In the end, it will come to an end and they give me 6 months. But to get 6 months for the magistrate's court, no, it was a juvenile court in Aldershot. At that age was the maximum sentence. And they should have given me more, really, but I should have been locked up 2 or 3 years before, but they never did it. So at 17 years old, I found myself in Feltham, young offenders. And Feltham back then was a very violent place, you know what I mean? I don't know what it's like now, but back then it was naughty. And it was just full of London kids, where everyone was like off the rails. And then it just went from strength to strength. So from there, I never forget it, from Feltham, they put us all on a minibus, like a big bus, not a minibus, a coach. Like out of Porridge.
Right.
When they're doing the football. It was like that, but we was all double chained.
Right.
So we all had like handcuffs on, and then we were chained to each other, and then they put like these ankle things on. So we're all sat on this coach, driving to Dover, young offenders.
Right.
So they put us in a Dover, and then I just met loads of people. Where my dad lived in Brixton at that time, we moved to South London. My dad was had a studio, he's a music man. And then I just started meeting loads of the street kids from South London.
Right.
And naturally, we just connected.
Yeah.
Because my dad lived in Brixton. So I just connected with all the boys from Brixton.
Yeah.
So I got released late 94. And when I teamed up with the boys from London, they were on a different thing.
Right.
They was all robbing. And I ain't done no robberies.
Right.
But I was a driver.
Got it.
So you can understand the...
So the robbing they were doing, was that armed robberies?
They were street robbing, yeah.
Right.
But the level of the gameness, I wasn't used to it. Do you know what I mean? But same thing again. I was attracted to the
naughtiness.
the naughtiness.
And what was the sort of stuff they were doing? Was it
at 17 I was committing armed robberies.
right? Okay.
Yeah, high-powered motorbikes, guns, banks, post offices, everything. That's it. From 17, that's it.
Was it organised, or did they literally just go, "We're going to do that one,"
Well,
or did they have like information like there's going to be 10 grand there?
No, we
or-
were just out on the roads.
Right.
We'd like see a gaff. We'd think, yeah, we're going to hit it, and then we'd just go and do it, and then we'd just go back to London. So because I lived in the country, it was easier because they could come down, stay with me, and then we'd go back to London. Do you know what I mean? So it was like out of London.
And out of the armed robberies, what would you say was the craziest one that you like? Like
I think we're all a bit crazy,
no, but where you almost got nicked, or whether somebody got hurt.
Of times, no one never got hurt or nothing. There was nothing like that. It was in and out.
Right.
And then
I didn't know if anybody tried to be a hero.
there was a couple of times, but we won't get into that.
Right. Okay.
But we used to do like Abbey Nationals, stuff like that. Like,
Did you get the Abbey habit? Yeah.
Well, there was a big crime wave of it going on from South London. There was a gang called the 28, you know what I mean? And everyone from South London was doing it. Everyone was running in there. Abbey Nationals, building societies. They used to call it Shabby in the Abbey.
Right.
Yeah. It's go in there, nobody move. and just started taking.
Was that where that song "Nobody Move, Nobody Get"?
You know that. The Bureau de Changes, we used to do the Bureau de Changes because there was always like big denominations of money, and it was always like like Thomas Cook back in the day.
Yeah,
it was so easy, mate. Yeah, because the Thomas Cooks always had a Bureau de Change in the corner, and it was just a desk, Terry.
Right.
And you used to open the drawers, and there'd be like 20, 30 grand in there, all in like different kinds of money. Do you know what I mean? So you just used to run in there, say, "This is don't move," and no one used to move. It was just for the young birds and that. Right. And you just jump up and take it's easy.
And what was so it was literally just done on the spin. Like you go down, there's one.
Yeah, like we just like, we're going to go out, let's go and do something tomorrow. And we just go out, jump on the train. So a lot of it was off the bat.
And I suppose it's difficult because for the law enforcement, because obviously when it was planned, there's always a chance somebody might have said something to somebody, or there could be an informant with this. When it's literally like, we're doing it today, we're going there now.
We were so like naive to it because we didn't think we could get nicked, you know what I mean? But there was no like real cameras and that back then. There was no NPR.
Right.
There was no mobile phones. Like the chances of getting nicked were small. And unless you got caught on the day, you was never really going to get nicked for it. Do you know what I mean?
If you was to put a number, could you put a number on how many armed robberies you did?
There's a lot. When I actually did get nicked, I was charged with about 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't get done for them.
Right. Okay.
I got done for 1. I pleaded guilty to it.
Right.
But I only did it out of I was given the wrong advice by the solicitor. But I didn't know the game then.
Right.
I was a kid. You know what I mean? I wasn't that aware of all it. As I got older,
right,
you know what you can and get away with, you know what I mean? But,
so that one that you got nicked for, how long had you been doing it before you actually got nicked?
Good year.
Right, so you did a year of
flat out
having it away
every day.
Right.
Every day, stolen cars. Do you know what I mean? Motorbikes. Like it's naughty, man. Yeah, I had to come to an end eventually. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But when I was 17, I had like 2 or 3 cars. I was renting a house. Like. It's not normal, you know. So it's just a matter of time before I got nicked.
Right.
But I think I'm coming to 95, and it was the jungle days.
Yeah.
So there's jungle raves everywhere. You know, you should do that Adrenaline Village and that. Remember that? Yeah. There was so many things going on, you know.
Yeah.
And so what we do, we'll go out, we'll get a nice few quid, we'll be straight up to Oxford Street,
Knightsbridge, Versace,
all the shades and the rest of it, you know what I mean, and go in a hotel and then just go raving.
Wicked.
And he just kept doing it, but it was like the best time.
Yeah.
Because it was just so free, do you know what I mean? So, and we had pockets full of cash. No one had the cash, you know what I mean? So we flashing all the cash to all the girls, little XR3i out the back, you know what I mean? We was having it
You're
super.
still nicking cars then as well?
Yeah.
I'm right.
He was nicking everything. Everything. Yeah, everything. If it weren't tied down,
right, it was gone.
We were nicking it.
Right.
It was gone.
And when you actually did get the tug, was that because they had you under observation, or was it?
Yeah. So what happened was, it wasn't an obbo. It was just because we were so careless. I think I had a car. They got a car that was connected to a robbery, and in the back of my fingerprints was in the car. No, what it was, I went and collected something. I went and collected some guns, collected a car from somewhere. And when we're coming back, someone had told the police that we was in this car and there was guns in the car. They weren't real guns because there was only fake. And when I got nicked in the car, it was all armed police and it was really bad. And then obviously they realised that we was the ones doing it, you know what I mean? Right. And then they found stuff in the car that was connected to other stuff. And then they come out of all the robberies and there was like obviously descriptions and that, do you know what I mean?
Right.
But that was in 95. So then I was in prison. So I got.
So So they basically said to you got these 8 charges.
There was loads of them, yeah.
But then you had a deal when if you plead to one, they'd lose the others.
No, they just dropped them all.
Right.
Because there's no evidence. You know what I mean? They knew it was us.
Right.
But they dropped all the charges, and I pled guilty to 1. I was 17,
right.
And I got 4 years. But I done every day of it. I done all of it. I ended up with 5.5 years.
Wow.
I escaped. Like it was so bad. Like it was just like carnage. I just rebelled against it, do you know what I mean? And I was growing as well, developing into a man, because I was only a little young teenager.
Right.
And then I got, growing up in the institutions back then, it was very tormenting, very violent. And a lot of people suffered mentally. A lot of guys ended up in drug addiction or suicide.
Right.
And the places I went to, they're not normal.
And when you did your jail time, I take it you didn't do it peacefully. You was fighting.
I fought all the way, mate. Yeah, I wasn't a good boy. I was very violent. I ended up on like bully units, like control units for anger management and stuff like that, because I was always fighting. And I just did not give a fuck. I was like, you couldn't tell me nothing. And just completely turned against it. And I fought the system from the day dot. So I got 4 years, ended up with 5.5 years. And I've done every day of it.
Wow.
I've done every day of that. I was from 95, from 17 to 22.
Wow. And when you was in there, Glenn, what was the worst violence that you saw when you was in there?
Stabbings, village beatings, as they call it, like 5-6 man on one man.
And what was that? Was that because they'd done something wrong, or
just the law of the land, mate?
Right.
You know what I mean? If they didn't like you, you know what I mean? You was outnumbered. We always just stick together from South London. If you were one of us, it was game over. We was all on you. Right. So that, you know what I mean? That's how it was.
Yeah.
And that was how it went on. Really.
And from doing that,
yeah.
If somebody went to jail, what advice would you give them? I mean, obviously it's different now, but I mean, back then, I mean, it was...
like nowadays, the jails are they've changed so much. Like, they're all out of control. Do you know what I mean? It's very soft.
Right.
You know? But yeah, it's just like very petty and all that. If they know that you're a serious criminal or you're a prolific offender, then you get put on just like a decent wing. But the general population is just full of fucking scumbags, man. Right. And it's just like everyone's running in cells, robbing. Like, when you're in a proper prison, none of that goes on. Right. You know what I mean? When you go into top security, like ACATs and dispersals, places like Swaleside and that, when you get put on a wing and there's like, the wing is just full of naughty people, right. there's no stealing. Right. None of that goes on. Because it can't happen, do you know what I mean? So it's karma. Because there's mutual respect, do you know what I mean? So no one's taking a piss out of nobody, because I know you're a serious guy and this respect is differently. But in the mainstream prison, there is none of that. It's just full of disrespectful little shitbags that are running around stealing anything they can, do you know what I mean? Right. Smoking that spice crap and all that. You don't get that in the proper nicks, you know what I mean? They don't do it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And and with you, what did you, when you was talking about you was always fighting? Yeah. Did you have any memorable fights in there, like, or anything that got really out of hand?
Loads, mate. Yeah, right. That was when I knew that when I started getting stronger in that, I was cut above the rest. I was very powerful. I just had the most unbelievable punch, and people didn't expect it because I was just a white boy and I was quite well spoken. You wouldn't expect it. I was very unassuming.
Yeah, your right hand is very good. I like it.
It's a bit smashed out now, but there's too many teeth marks on it. But like every confrontation I got into, I won it. Right. I've been hit on the head with chairs. I've been attacked from behind. I've been stabbed. I've gone into cells with multiple people. I've done it all in the showers. There was no fear. You know what I mean? If there was a challenge, I was right up for it. Right. And I literally just turned into a madman. Right. But a lot of it was inflicted upon me first. You know what I mean? I never stabbed anybody until I got stabbed.
Right. So then you become a product of the environment.
Yeah, product of my environment. Yeah. Like I never used to carry knives, or I was never thinking about stabbing anybody. That was never what was in me. You know, it wasn't until I got punched in it that I fought back, and then I started fighting back. And then when I got stabbed after that, then I was sharpening things up. Right. You know, I was in such violent places. You had to go in the shower with a blade in your bum cheeks. Wow. It was that naughty, and he was always watching you. You'd be in there washing like that, making sure no one was. You know, it was that bad. Wow. Everywhere you go, you're on guard.
And when someone stabbed you, did you see it, or did they just come up and just do it? Like, I didn't know if they'd come up behind you and done it, or
no, he rushed into me. Yeah. Right. Yeah, loads of stuff, man.
I take it you didn't do that again.
Well, he got moved on to another wing.
Right.
I smacked him and I put him on his ass, but I didn't have a knife. Right. But there was 3 or 4 of them that were looking to do it. You know what I mean? Wow. But the right hand did prevail.
Yeah, baby.
Don't worry, mate. You can't beat a good right hand, son. You know what I mean? It's faster than a stab.
Yeah. But and then when you got out of jail at 22, did you think going back there again, or was you like still angry?
I remember walking out of that gate. Yeah, I was. The thing is, I'd had so much. There'd been so much violence that I'd gone through. I was not aware of the damage that it had done to me. When I was in Portland Young Offenders, I I had a terrible experience with the staff there. I got the liquid kosh, Largactal. I had an unbelievable fight with the officers in the segregation unit, and eventually they got me. But the experience I went through, I thought I was going to die.
What is, because people have heard of the liquid kosh.
Yeah.
But what, actually having it done to you, what is it?
What it does is it just knocks you out. Like if you're uncontrollable, they chuck it in you, give it to you, and then you just pass out. You're gone. And it's illegal now. They're not allowed to do it. But and all the young offenders and that they give it to you as a medication in Broadmoor and stuff like that. It's like a mental stimulant.
Right.
I don't know the full wits of it, but it's a very, very powerful drug.
Right.
And you can have. I've actually lost a friend to it. He got injected with it. I think he's in Winchester. A guy called Ali McFarlane. He's dead now. May rest in peace, Ali. But that was like an after effect of the injection he had. And he had you can get two. You can have like a chemical reaction or a mental reaction. I had the mental reaction to it.
Right, wow.
And it completely messed up my mind. But he's like, his skin like started going all stretchy and that, and his eyelids was growing together. But he ended up committing suicide. Well, no, drugs overdose. Right. But like he didn't want to live. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that was a direct.
And you think that tipped you over the edge mentally?
It made me crazy, man. But it traumatized me because when after the fight happened, and they gave me the injection, they put me in a straitjacket and put me in a padded cell. But after they put me back in a wing, I couldn't remember it.
You feel like Anthony Hopkins inside the labs.
Clarice.
Clarice. And they just leave you in there.
They don't give a fuck. They don't care, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they're just dealing with a situation.
And when you're in this liquid kosh zone, do you feel fucked up or can you not move?
I didn't know, Terry.
Oh, so you're just out of it?
No, I didn't remember any of it.
Right.
I knew that something had happened, but they put me back on the wing. They were terrified of me.
Right.
They put me back on the wing. I'd done all the stuff in the segregation unit. I got out of the segregation unit. Real bad, but a real big breach of security.
Right.
But at that time, they didn't really want me out of prison because I was after keeping it calm.
Right.
So there was benefits to have me there, do you know what I mean? But I didn't want to be there.
Right.
I wanted to go, do you know what I mean? And I wanted to be closest to London.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think is it Weymouth, down in Dorset. It's right down there. It's far. Right. You know what I mean? It's not like half an hour out the road you can get a visit. And all you got to look forward to is your visits. So being right down there is like a 2-3 hour drive. You know what I mean? I wanted to be closest to London. I wanted to be to London. So I excuse me. So they, I think I was 19 or 20. And you're not supposed to go to adult prison till you're 21.
Right.
But they started me up. When they start you up, it means you can go younger. You know
so you get upgraded to business class.
Get upgraded, yeah. Business class, yeah. So that was basically what happened. Right. But but by the time I got there, I was mentally you know what I mean? Because I was still dealing with what they'd done to me. Right. And I thought I was going to kill me. There were so many officers on me, I couldn't breathe. They were crushing me. You know what I mean? Right. It was that bad. It was a horrible feeling.
I suppose that gave you probably an even bigger fucking dislike to authority. I fucking hated the authority then. I was dead against the government. I hated the police. And I just did not care then back then, do you know what I mean? So I'd come out of a really up, violent, young, dangerous man. So what was the first thing you did when you got out of jail? Did you nick a car?
Smoked a big spliff.
Oh, wow.
But I remember coming out, I got released from Weymouth Scrubs, as a B-cat after doing 4.5 years, from 17 to 22, right? And I remember getting out, there was no going to a D-cat, there was no getting a home leave. It was just in and out. Right. I should have had a bit when home leaves and nothing.
Right. So
it says a lot, you know what I mean? So I was released from a B-cat, top security. I remember walking out the gate thinking, fucking cunts. Do you know what I mean? I fucking hated them. I'm walking out the gate at Weymouth Scrubs and my dad picked me up. And I just remember thinking, I don't care. No, that was nothing, you know? So, yeah, not really good, really. It didn't help me at all. They made me 10 times worse.
And then what was the next step for you there? From I mean, you obviously went straight back at it, but what was you
I think I come out and started drug dealing then. Right. That was when I started drug dealing, yeah.
And what was it just literally?
I had a plan.
Right, okay.
I had a plan.
What was the plan, man?
I just wanted to earn that money, baby.
Right. Chasing the dollars.
I just wanted money.
Right.
I wanted to get money. That was the plan. I wanted to earn money, and all I knew was robbery, drug dealing.
Right.
the ways of the streets. I was never going to go and get a job. I did go and get a job for a little bit, but it was never going to last. You know what I mean? Because I ain't going to have no one telling me.
You're getting £10 an hour.
Just peanut money. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't on that kind of monkey money. I wanted like proper money. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's when I just went back out there.
And did you start off kind of quite low?
Organising, yeah.
But so you wasn't on the street doing it.
No.
You were literally.
There was a lot more consideration into it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
A lot more thought, a lot more planning, and
what was it? What was you moving? What was it puff or was it?
Yeah, well, obviously you come from a culture of drug. Well, they call it drug dealing. You know what I mean? When they're Rastafarians, it's not drug dealing. You know what I mean? Even though they say it's drug dealing, it ain't. It's a culture, and it's not like they're selling the weed to make money. They're selling it because they've paid for it, but it's just providing because everyone wants to smoke the herb. Right. You know what I mean? So basically, all I did was I just took that concept out. Right. But changed the product.
Got it.
But I knew what I had to do, do you know what I mean? So I remember when I first started, I bought a quarter. And I remember being upset because I had to pay £300 for the quarter. Right. But that was it. And then I just spun it. I didn't touch it. And it just went up and up and up.
So you never got high on your own supply?
I did get high on my own supply, unfortunately, yeah. But that is one of the rules.
Right, okay. And you started off obviously
it's a disease, mate. Once you start, you can't stop.
But you got so you started off with a quarter.
Started off low, mate, yeah.
And then what did you end up getting to?
I got into multi-kilos every week. I had a big round. Wow. And then I just got into, I went away again. I got done for, I kidnapped somebody. And then when I went away, I met big time criminals. And then I planned on going across the channel smuggling my own drugs. Right. And worked my way up the ladder. Right. And it just progressed into smuggling. So
when you kidnapped that person, that's what you got nicked for?
I got done for kidnappings, yeah.
What happened? What happened with that?
It was a guy that bullied me as a kid when I was funny enough. And he was selling heroin. He was a heroin addict. And he was like, I never agreed with him because I was like very clued up about drugs.
Do you know, I've never ever gone into it, but I know with heroin, like people take it and they are, they will do anything. Yeah. Right. And if someone said to you, you're going to take this, you're going to get addicted. Yeah. And you're probably going to fucking want to rob, rape, do whatever you can to get your supply.
It, as long as
and you sort of think, why would anybody want to do that?
Yeah. Well, I was very aware of drugs. That was kind of like my upbringing. I was aware. And that's very important to teach your children because they're going to go and do it anyway. Right. You know what I mean? They're just going to hide it from you. So if they're going to do it, at least educate them about it. You know what I mean? Good drugs and bad drugs, and know the pros and cons. You know what I mean? Right. So I had that. Right. So I was never going to go and do heroin or nothing like that. Right. Because I knew that it was going to lead to worse things. So I just avoided it. So, but there was this one guy, he was selling heroin, and he was just an out and out wrong. And he would already bullied me once when I was younger. He was a bit older than me. And he was selling heroin to young kids and girls and that. And he kept doing it to a friend of mine at that time. Right. He was having a real bad time with him. So me and my best mate was his brother-in-law at the time. I'd done nothing to do with him now, but everyone's changed. Right. We basically went round to all the drug dealers and threatened them all. He said, "Joe, stop selling it to my mate, yeah, otherwise we're gonna hurt you." So we managed to stop them all, but this one kid kept doing it. So I ended up kidnapping him, basically. And he went Queen's evidence. Wow.
So when you kidnapped him, did you just pick him up off the street, tie him up?
Well, I didn't care. I just did it so blatant. Right. Because I didn't think he was going to grasp because he was selling gear.
Right, so you thought he was proper?
I didn't think he was going to grasp, you know what I mean? Mate, I was wrong. Right. He went into witness protection, they moved him away. And at that time I was doing, I was stealing cash machines. Right. I was doing armed robbery. So the police had a right hard on for me.
So you were selling drugs?
I was doing everything, yeah. I was flat out.
So what was when you rob a cash machine, talk us through that, because they were called the hole in the wall gangs, right?
There was a different type of gangs, yeah. Right. There was loads of people that were doing it prolifically. Right. But I was just doing it on top of everything else I was doing.
So how would you do one of those?
Oh, it all depends what kind of the machine was.
I'm doing this for research purposes. I'm not planning on doing it myself. But
yeah, at that time, everyone was doing it. It's like an epidemic.
Because people were stealing like fucking diggers, weren't they? Yeah. And then going through the thing, pulling the machines.
You could go and get a key. They all look the same kind of keys.
Right.
So you could go and get a key for the digger, JCBs, and like you see a move, like, you know what I mean? You see a cash machine, a big one, and then you drive down the road, a couple of miles down the road, and there'd be a little building site with a JCB, and you'd be like, "Oi, boys, look, we can do this job." Right. So then you plan it all, and then you go and jump in a digger, start the digger up, go through the gates, drive that down the road with the things on high vis, making that, you know what I mean? And then you just go and rip it out and chuck it on the back of a lorry or something. You know?
And what sort of money would be in one of those machines?
The machines back then could hold up to 250 grand.
Wow.
Yeah. The most
that's a good night's work, right?
The most we got out of one was 177.
That's all right.
It's not too bad, mate, is it? But can you see the attraction?
Better than working in
But
McDonald's.
the little ones, remember the little Coke canned ones?
Yeah.
Well, you could open them with a pallet strap.
Right.
Yeah, you force the front open, put the hook in, and we used to use the hooks, you know, the chains for the skip lorries. You know, the chains they put around to pick up the skip? Well, that's what we'd use. You force it open with a big iron bar, put the hook in, put it to the back of a 4x4 and just rip the door straight off it. Wow. And just take the trays out. It was easy money. 20 grand, 30 grand every week.
So you was doing those.
Flat out.
You was serving up the geezer. You kidnapped this geezer, but that's when it came on top for you. But they didn't nick you for any of that stuff.
No,
but they nicked you for
They knew what I was doing, but they couldn't catch me because back then it was so different. You know what I mean? There was like they had.
So I didn't know all this stuff. I'm gonna start calling you Teflon Glen.
No, definitely not that. But because I was such a good driver, I was a skilled driver from young. I wasn't worried about the fucking police. I didn't care.
Right.
So I was there right until they pulled up, and I just jumped in the car I was in, like a sports car, and there was no way they were going to catch me because I would just fucking laugh them off. I was such a good driver,
right?
And I know all the routes. We used to cut like trees down. There'd be like alleyways with like bollards.
Yeah.
And because we was near the job, we'd go and cut the bollards out the night before.
Right. So you knew where you was going.
So we knew where we were going. Do you know what I mean? So if we did get a chase, we had it all worked out.
Right.
We used to take fence panels out, go through fields, and
I mean, it's a proper like operation.
yeah, we was like, we were just like, you know, like even on the M3, we'd take the barriers out,
right?
So you could just come off the motorway and go into a slip road, like,
wow,
or come off the slip road and go into the motorway.
But when you were doing that, did you all have like your high vis thing and the helmets on?
Safety first, mate.
No, but I'm just saying, did you actually pretended to be
Sometimes
builders?
we did, yeah.
Right.
But as soon as if there was ever a robbery back then, we knew all the protocol.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you could listen to the police radios. We had like a scanner.
Right.
So you could listen to all the police radios. So you knew straight away if someone was phoning the police because you'd hear it.
Right.
Yeah, and you get a description. And like as soon as there was a robbery or anything, the first thing they'd do, they'll go straight to the motorways, the main roads and the motorways, and they'll sit there looking for vehicles.
Right.
So but we'd already be on it.
Right.
So they'd be at the junction. We'd already be on the road because we've took the barrier out. Like,
right.
And it was just it was like cat and mouse.
And then with the kidnapping charge, what did you end up getting for that?
I got so I got out on a technicality. I got reminded straight away for it, and I was looking at a life sentence.
Wow.
For that, they were talking about L plates. They wanted to life me off, but it went from Section 18 GBH, unlawful imprisonment, kidnapping. The GBH charge got dropped. He had internal injuries, but they're saying he could have got it when he was getting in the back of the car and that.
Oh, he could have fell over, couldn't he?
Kicked the out of him. But he deserved it.
Right.
He was a scumbag, do you know what I mean?
Listen, I've a dear friend of mine, Billy Murray, you know, the actor.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the story, but there was a guy selling heroin to his daughter.
Yes, yeah.
And got her fucked up on it.
Yeah.
And
it's not a good thing,
obviously he did a similar thing.
Yeah.
With Roy Short, who's no longer with us. And
Yeah.
a couple of other fellas, they kidnapped the geezer, bashed him up.
Yeah.
And he then grasped him up. He got nicked. He went to court, and the guy that was defending him basically said, "You're going to go to fucking jail, right? Because you know
I don't like the kidnapping charge, mate.
you're going to jail.
That is
right?
a bad charge.
But what he did, right, and this was like divine intervention. The heroin dealer stood up in the thing, and when they was being cross-examined, he started laughing, and he said, I like hooking people on heroin. And he said, I would like to get every single one of your sons and daughters, pointing to the jury, on heroin. And we was going, ha, 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 and all that.
It's an absolute wanker.
And even though Billy was bang at rights,
Yeah.
and they said, this is, you know, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
All the jury was
guilty.
like, f*** you,
Yeah.
not guilty.
Yeah, lovely.
So he walked,
Yeah.
right? And I was so happy about that because any father that some cunt's selling fucking heroin to him,
Yeah.
getting fucked up
Exactly.
and laughing about it,
Do you know- yeah.
and you warn him, and then he tells you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do?
Do you know what? It's so ironic that you say that because my case was so similar. Because I thought to myself,
You didn't read about that and then commit.
yeah, got up the idea. I thought to myself, if they agree with me, he's a heroin dealer, and he admitted he was a dealer.
Right.
Then I've got to, come on, I'm doing you a favour.
Right.
Oh no, I was so wrong. I've never had any luck. I've never had any not guilties. every time I've gone up,
So they dropped the charge, but then what did you end up getting?
I got done for ABH, unlawful imprisonment and kidnapping. And I was quite lucky, really. So I got 2 5 years and a 2 years,
Right.
concurrent for a 5. So it was 5 years, but back then it was 2/3.
Right.
But I managed to get bail on a technicality. Whilst I was on bail, I had some mad police chase. Yeah, it was naughty. We're going to get the video for you, don't worry.
Right, I can't wait.
I got chased down the M3 and then I was in an M3 BMW right up to Heathrow, rammed loads of police cars and helicopters. And I got 18 months consecutive. So I ended up with 6 years and 9 months.
Wow.
And I done nearly all of it.
Again.
Yeah, again, done it all. I just wasn't interested in all this whole behaving myself off. You know what I mean? Like I didn't care. At the end of the day, it's behind my door.
Did you get another liquid cosh, or was that, or
there was no more liquid cushions?
Right, okay.
But I kind of like avoided. They kind of like give me a wide berth, to be honest with you.
Right, okay. Oh no, not him again.
You kind of build up a rapport, and the thing is, where'd you get into like the bigger nicks? The staff are a little bit more
respectful.
Yeah, they don't take the piss. But that place there at that time, Portland, there was a big investigation. Right. I mean, they were breaking people's arms. They were racist. You know, if you was black and you was in Portland, you was in a fucking bad position, mate. Right. The things that I see them do was terrible. And the N-word was flagrant, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they're saying that, you know, the B word, like, like, you know, it wasn't a good place to be.
Right.
And, but it was institution.
Right.
You know what I mean? They had the Borstal mentality from back in the day. You know, all the scum shit. Remember you seen all the shit in there?
Yeah.
And that was that kind of knock on. They were kind of living off of that vibe, you know what I mean? But we turned it around. Like, we took over that prison, man.
Right.
Like, I had Portland and all my boys that was in there with me at that time on lock. Right. Like, the staff could never say nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and when you went back for this longer term, obviously by then, because of the dealing, because of the cash machine robberies, because of all the other stuff you were doing, you didn't get nicked for. Yeah. You was, I take it, obviously, you, like you said, you become known to bigger criminals.
Yeah, then I was known the names.
Would you say that the being imprisoned for that amount of time with those sort of people, that it was like going to the University of Crime?
Yeah, sadly, it was. I met a lot of older guys from Bermondsey, the Haygate Estate, Aylesbury Estate, you know what I mean, Old Kent Road, old armed robbers from the 80s and that, you know what I mean, really nice men. Right. And I just clicked with them, you know what I mean? And I picked up on their mannerisms. I was with them every day for a long time, you know what I mean? Yeah. But these boys had proper money. Right. You know what I mean? They'd been in the puff game in the 80s, knocked on from armed robbery, you know what I mean? And they had a right few quid and they'd made it. But the difference, I mean, they was respectable men, you know what I mean? They respected women, they were very polite, they were very calm, very generous and just really lovely people.
But the
old school
values, yeah.
And I missed that, do you know what I mean? Like, I was probably one of the last of them. Right. You know what I mean? That rubbed off, you know? Yeah. You know, people like Freddie Foreman and that, they was all around them kind of people, you know? Right. And just different breed, mate. And you don't get it no more. Right. It's just so disrespectful, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the same.
And when you ended up coming out this time, how old was you then? You was...
So it was I've been out about 3 or 4 years now. Right. But what I got nicked for, Terry, what I got done for, I didn't do.
No, I'm talking about the you when you had your 6.5 years. When you had the 6.5 years, when
so
you come out
in 04.
So how old was you then, Glenn?
I was about 28, something
28.
Like that.
So that's so you then come out then, and when you walked out this time,
I was connected.
You were like,
I know what I was going to do. Yeah,
right.
I knew exactly what I was
going to do. What was the next step? Well, you said you was going to start importing.
I thought I'd do a bit of drug smuggling.
Right.
Which started off really well, Terry, for a bit, as it always does in crime. Always starts off really well, but eventually you always get nicked, especially in that drug game. Scares the life out of me.
Well, it's there's a book called The Luck Factor. Yeah, and it's actually quite funny because it says whatever you try in life, whether it's legal or illegal, you always have a little bit of luck initially.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it runs out, and then you either have to get lucky again, or something else.
Well, the worst thing is, Terry, is people like. You think you're trying to bring someone in and help them out, but you should never do that. I've learned all the lessons, and they talk in, and they tell someone else, pillow talking. The next thing you know, you've got the police watching you. Do you know what I mean? Right. Especially anything to do with borders. Right. Anything to do with smuggling or high-end drug dealing, Class A's. Right. You are in trouble, mate, because they will watch you. They've got a blank check, mate, and they will put a team on you, and they won't take any prisoners. When they come for you, you're gone.
Right.
And that's what they do. And that's the level of the crime, you know what I mean? So as you get a bit older, you get a bit wiser to what kind of crime you're going to get into. Because then you know what police you're going to be dealing with, you know what I mean?
Got it.
But
So the drug smuggling thing is you say,
mate.
forget it.
Oh, that's game over, mate,
okay.
yeah.
But back then, you thought, yeah.
Well, I wasn't known for it, do you know what I mean? So I was just like a local thing, you know what I mean? And I was quiet, I moved out the area. I did it all right. Because I had the old school morals.
And what was you smuggling? Was it puff or?
Yeah,
Right.
it was. I've done a bit of puff first with some Moroccan boys,
Right.
Which was all good, but that was a lot of work.
And how'd you? I mean, you know, for somebody who's not in that world, how would you actually do it? I mean, back then,
Well, I just
was it literally someone you met inside? You went, listen, I want to do this.
I was running all over London doing all different kinds of things, helping people out, problem solving, as they say. If you know what I mean, Tel.
Yeah, of course.
So I've done a lot of problem solving,
Right.
which gave me good friendships with people that was a lot older than me. I was obviously doing other things, and they were undercover. They were earning the right few quid. No one knew what they were doing.
Right.
But they was like, look, come with us. Come and meet my mate. You know what I mean? Like, there's a little earner here, and I let everyone know that I was doing the boat thing.
Right.
And I started off doing a bit of puff.
Right.
And they were, the people that was doing the puff, when they were very, very clear.
Right.
We don't do coke. We're not interested in Class A's.
Right.
If you are doing that, then tell us now, because we don't want nothing to do with you.
Got it.
And they're all still out.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So they were smart.
Right.
So they already knew the lesson that I had to go and learn for myself.
And when you say the boat game, was it literally buy a boat?
Yeah.
Was it that simple? Buy a boat and then just...
Well, it's a little bit more to it than that. You got to have a couple of screws loose, ain't you?
Right,
Go
okay.
across the channel at night.
I could just imagine you with your fucking Captain Birdseye.
Well, it was a bit of me, mate, wasn't it?
Did you
know
grow
what I
a
mean?
white
Like,
beard?
it was
And
a
you like,
challenge. It was dangerous, and there was money to be earned.
Right.
But no one knew about it.
Did you
one.
buy a captain hat though?
I did have the captain
Right, I
thing,
could
mate,
just
clipped on the shoulders. I had the tannoy and all that as well.
Oi!
The captain of your ship. Ahoy there.
And literally, so you bought a boat. I mean, did you know how
The boat was bought for me.
Oh, right, but
because I was in with a big crew.
Did you know how to navigate and
I
stuff?
was taught first.
Oh, right, okay.
The guy, because I met an older guy that had been doing it already. As you say, the crime college, you know, the crime university, and I got taught and I learned it. But I was quite affluent with boats anyway.
Right.
I've been boated from young, and my dad had a boat in that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But this was a different kind of boat. It was like high speed boats at first. I've done it on a jet ski. I've tried it all.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
What was the best one? Was it a rib or?
ribs is better. Yeah, jet skis. The waves is like to go across because jet skis are no good. They're too small and you get all the splashes. A bigger boat, you can ride the waves more. You know.
Right. Right.
Don't do it, though, kids.
Did you have any funny stories when you were doing the runs?
God, mate, the stories are unbelievable, mate. I'll tell you about the dolphin.
Yeah, go on.
You can't write this shit, man. But this is like skipping. I'm missing so much stuff. You know what I mean? But it's just one night I went over.
Do you want to go back and then come up to that bit?
Yeah.
Got him. Yeah, we'll come back to the dolphin. We'll come back to Shamu.
Yeah, so just obviously it's escalated, you know what I mean? Like I met different people. I was loyal. I always come through with everybody. So it just went from strength to strength. And the name got good, you know what I mean? I was known as a reliable person.
Was you called Glenn the Boat then?
I was called Glenda the Offender. I was definitely offending, mate. That was for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and I just got a good name, but underground.
Right.
You know, I wasn't known out in the mainstream, but all the proper people knew who I was.
Right.
I walk into places and people like recognise me. Do you know what I mean? I knew that I was good stuff. And then I was trusted. So there was big consignments of drugs laid onto me. I would never nick any. You know, I was loyal, and that went a long way. So once I got the good name, then people welcomed me,
Right.
because they knew I was good stuff.
Yeah.
And in the end, and they just started earning good money. Went from strength to strength, you know. And in the end, you just get addicted to the money, don't you?
Right.
It's just like you can't help it. And then I had other things going on. I had the local area on lock.
Right.
So it went from like $1,000 a week, $5,000 a week, 10 grand a week, 20 grand a week, 30 grand a week, 40 grand a week. It just kept going up and up and up.
Wow.
So I went from like the Vauxhall to the BMW, Mercedes.
Right.
And then I was looking at Porsches, supercars.
Wow.
It's addiction. You can't stop doing it. And it just goes up and up and up. And then the police fucking know you. They recognise what's going on. Where's he getting all his money from?
Oh, look, Glenn the offender. He's got a nice little Porsche 911 convertible.
Well, the thing was, I knew that the police was on me and I didn't give a fuck.
Right.
Because they couldn't catch me.
Right.
Because I've been doing the same shit from when I was a kid. The police know I was stealing cars, so I just didn't care, Terry.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So the more brazen I was,
Right.
the more I was getting away with. Because they couldn't follow me. So I was always aware of being watched and followed all the time. So I'd have different motors. I'd have a car I drive round in. I'd drive down, run down an alley, jump in another car. I was gone.
Right.
And I'd get picked up down the road. Like, I was so aware of being obbo. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So you did get a lot of counter surveillance training.
I certainly did, mate. But a lot of the time, it wasn't even worth watching me.
Right.
Because you just get my bum cheeks. And you know what I mean?
Right.
I found cameras and that. I'd be like fucking pulling my fart and like for sticking my fingers up. Like cameras in houses opposite where I lived. I'd be getting out, fucking having a piss and that, calling them wankers.
Right.
Like, you're wasting your time. I just terrorise them.
Right.
I'd find devices on my car and I'd put it on someone else's car. But it was a bad thing really because I thought I was smarter than them.
Right.
But one thing I will say this, and listen to me, yeah? You can't outsmart the police, mate.
Right.
Eventually. You can do it for a bit, but don't let them know that you're doing it. Because as soon as they know you're doing it,
You're there, it's even worse.
that's it. There's going to be a room of them saying, you see this little we've got to get this. And that's what they do.
Right.
And they've got so many other officers they can get onto. Do you know what I mean? Once they get it in for you, mate,
Right.
you got to go.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And what they do is they let you think that you're all right. And then you carry on doing it. And they just literally give you enough rope to hang yourself.
Wow.
And this is what they do, you know? And they will take you out of the game, especially in the drug game.
Right.
You know, cocaine and that. You know, no one lasts for long.
Right.
You know
And
what I mean?
but you progressed from the weed
I went to the top.
Right, okay.
I went to source to buying it in bulk and bringing it in with bigger people. Do you know what I mean?
So what when you say source, was it Colombians or
It was coming in from South America.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Did you meet Tony Montana?
Me and Tony were good pals. He owes me loads of favours, old Tony.
A Manolo.
Mate, I'm telling you.
and when you was talking about when you was doing one of those runs on the rib, and
Yeah.
you was talking about the dolphin story. What happened there?
There was a time when I went over. I won't tell you what I was going over for.
Okay.
But yeah, it was late at night. And I used to do it on my own. I used to go over on the boat on my own. I'd have my people there. I won't say who they are, but it'll come out soon. I'd have my boys on the beach.
Got to read the book. Got to
Yeah,
read
get the book. The stories were incredible, but it's all real, man.
Right.
None of it's fake. It's all genuine stories of a life of wild crime, man. And it's just a journey to get where I am today.
Yeah.
And it's quite refreshing, really, to be sat here today. And I've turned my back on it all, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But do you know what, Glenn? The reason I wanted, and we've been talking about this for probably 3 years.
Yeah.
And I was saying to you, you know, got to do a book, TV
planting the
series, movie, and every time I see you, it'd be like, when are we going to do this,
Yeah.
Glenn? And you'd be like, yeah, we're going to do it.
But I'm thinking to myself, because I was still active. I'm still doing shit.
But I think also you've got to with these sort of things, you've got to be. Obviously, you can't be doing a podcast or doing a book if you're at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Like,
the fact you've turned your life on it,
Yeah.
and obviously you're now looking at those 4 decades
I'm
of
looking
crime,
at it from a third person.
and you're thinking, well, I've done all that.
Yeah.
Some of it I got in it for, some of it I didn't get in it
Yeah.
for, but I'm out the other side,
Yeah.
and I've regretted what I've done.
Yeah.
But now I want to.
I do now. I'm much more empathetic, but I didn't see myself that way, Terry.
Right.
I was embarrassed, but I'm not proud of it, you know what I mean? It's illegal.
Right.
Like, it's not good. I went to prison for it, but now, like, I need to tell the story
Yeah.
to make people hopefully not go down that route, and I'm just trying to avoid it.
But
But
for sure. But I think people will love hearing these stories and they'll be like, fucking hell,
Yeah.
what great stories. But obviously, it's decades gone.
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
an end of an era. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not be doing this stuff now. Do you
No.
know what I mean? But
there's so much more to it, though, Terry. It ain't just about me doing crimes. My family, I come from a very, very diverse family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of my granddad was a special forces. He was in the Alpha School in Jamaica, which is a very, very well-known school. You know, it's an orphanage. A lot of famous people come from there. A lot of famous fighters, a lot of famous singers. And my granddad, he got into the Windrush ships. You know, amazing, like these most unbelievable men. You know, imagine the personality and the character.
Yeah.
To be so young, to escape from an orphanage and hide on a boat, knowing full well that you shouldn't be on there, to get a better life, you know, on your own with your mate. Like,
that's brave.
it's incredible.
Yeah.
And the story is unbelievable. But to be around these men They rub off on you. They don't even have to tell you nothing, just to feel their aura and have their love. I think it's the love. When you receive the love, you receive the spirit.
Yeah.
Incredible. Special Forces, Army, British Army boxing champion, do you know what I mean? Like, but just a perfect, lovely man. Spoke impeccable English and just never swore, but the aura rubbed off on me, you know what I mean? There was other big men in my family, which is I loved, and you know, was paratroopers, was in terrible wars in Ireland, which had a big effect on my life, you know what I mean? And then we got my other granddad, Irish, fighting all the time, you know, and just so much diversity in my family. But having them men in my life, and growing up in the dance all days, you know what I mean, being around gun crime, guns going off in the air when there's a big tune on.
Yeah, most people wouldn't even believe that happened, but they used to do that. It's just shooting the scene.
Because you wouldn't hear about it, you know what I mean? But the Jamaican culture back in the 80s was deadly, bruv, you know what I mean? The violence that used to go on. And obviously that went into like the jungle days, the garage days, you know, you knew because you was doing all security, all the mass shootings and the garage raids back in the day, the murders, the gang wars and all that. It all comes from the culture. But when you understand the culture, then you understand the people. You know, a lot of the black culture is very misunderstood because you don't understand what they've come from. You know what I mean? It's in the DNA. But it goes so back, it's so deep, Terry. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I feel like I need to explain a little bit.
No, it's good. It's good to get through it. And,
just want people to understand
and hear all the different stories. And you know, I think today we've only really just sort of scratched
touching the top, mate. We're not even getting into it, mate.
We're talking about 3 books. We're talking about TV series. We're talking about part 2, and we haven't even finished part 1 yet.
We're getting into it, mate. Getting into it.
But you got to share this dolphin story. You got to share it because it's
it was quite surreal, really. It was almost like a special moment. You know, there's that film with the little, it's like a cartoon film with the little Indian kid on a boat with the lion, the tiger. Have you not seen it?
No, I don't think I've seen that.
I can't remember what it's called. But like, the water all glows.
Right.
Yeah, but it's real. So there was one night, it was later on in the year, I was going over to France, to pick up a parcel. I won't tell you what the parcel was,
Okay.
It
could be anything.
It could have been anything.
It could have been whiskey. It could have been beer.
You know that.
It could have been anything.
Yeah. So I've gone over. It was a very cold, windy night. Sea was quite droppy. And I've got like a full dry suit. I look like a SAS diver, you know what I mean? So I've got the full dry suit on, full face balaclava, motorbike jacket. I'm in a little inflatable rib. So I've gone across the channel, right? And it's the busiest shipping channel in the world. It's very dangerous, got the English Channel. And when you get out in the middle, there's like a big swell where all the currents come in.
Right.
So you get into the swell and you go, but you're not going anywhere, you know what I mean? Like, because there's so much current. And you got all the ferries, you got all the shipping container boats. And when you get to them, you know what I mean? Like, they're so big, it looks like a fucking block of flats. It looks like buildings.
Right.
And you're not sure, you know what I mean? It's going, we go past and it's dangerous, you know? But it's almost like spiritual.
Right.
Being out to sea at that time of night, you know? So anyway, I've gone over to France. I've picked up the thing. Got like goggles, infrared goggles. And like, even in these goggles, you can see like so clearly late at night. And I'm watching. I was on my job, you know what I mean? I was on the job. I was so aware of not getting caught in it, you know what I mean? I just didn't want to get caught. So I've got all the dry suit on, full face balaclava. I've got a big commando knife.
Right.
On my ankle. And gloves and all that on, you know? And so I've gone over there. I've phoned up my man. He's come out, met me. I've gone back out to sea. So what we should do was we should time it to see how quick I could do it.
Right.
So I was getting better and better because we were getting better equipment, was always upgrading that, you know what I mean? So I started coming back, Terry. So I'm tearing on in a boat, going down, down. And I've seen something in the sea. No, I've seen something, but I think it might be a wave, you know what I mean? So I'm now I'm half looking, and then I've seen it. Something's come out of the water, so fin.
Right.
And you know, as a kid,
start thinking about Jaws,
mate. You know, as a kid, when you first watched Jaws, and you don't want to go in the fucking sea. Comes out and gets it, and he's got it, and his legs is in it. You know what I mean? And that's all I'm thinking, right? And if you grew up in the 80s and you watched the film for free when it first came out, you remember the 3D glasses. I remember watching Jaws at the cinema in Camberley.
Right, yeah.
And they put the 3D, remember, it's like a big thing, wasn't it? 3D movie, and everyone's, oh, it's the latest thing, you know what I mean? Sitting there with them little
silly
plastic glasses on. So I was literally, shit. Right, and I can see it's the size of the boat.
Right.
I'm in a 4 metre boat, and it's like, this thing is 4 metres long, right? And all I'm thinking, it's going to stop, and it's following me. Is it going to bite the boat? Is it going to get in the boat and start eating me? So I'm shitting myself, right? So I've literally just stopped, pulled the knife out. I'm thinking, well, least I'm going to do is try and stop it if it's going to eat me. Anyway, it's turned around, come back, and just come out of the water. And it was like a most surreal moment. It was this big, beautiful dolphin.
Right.
And it was just looking at me. As if to say, I know what you were doing. I reckon it was a police officer reincarnated as a dolphin. Coming back to do a bit of work. And literally, I was just like so relieved.
Did it talk to you? Did it kind of go... telling you off?
It was unbelievable, mate. And I just like looking at it, you know what I mean? I thought, fucking hell, man. It's a dolphin, you know what I mean? And I just carried on going. It just followed me.
Right.
And it was almost like we was doing a game and I was going left and right and it was following me. It was jumping out of the water, going mental, and it followed me all the way back to Kent.
That is cool.
How mad's that?
That is mad. That is mad.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah. and then when did all this sort of smuggling come to an end?
Yeah, it's just like things happen, mate. You get people involved that shouldn't be involved, loose lips and all that. And you know what it was?
Did the loose lips sink the rib?
They sunk ships, mate. Yeah, there was so much going on, and I was part of a thing, and it got so big. You know what I mean? Like it was such a massive deal. There was so much money getting earned, and this is the thing with the crime, this drug game. It gets out of control. Do you know what I mean? Where does it stop? Do you just get a bit of money just to sort yourself out, get a car and all that? It doesn't stop. It goes on, and you become greedy, and it just comes. It's always going to end in tragedy. And there was a big operation going on. Loads of people got nicked. There was a ridiculous amount of money involved. Everyone got nicked and all that. Do you know what I mean?
What was the monetary amount? Was it?
It was estimated 100 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was 100 million.
Yeah, they were saying like all the drugs that was involved in that time when we was active was up to 100 million.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
This is what I'm saying, but it's just insane. Who needs 100 million? But this is the thing, you keep doing
it. I wouldn't mind 100 million. But obviously I've
got it from you. Yeah, and it just all ended up in tragedy. Everyone got nicked. Big ass sentences getting dished out.
Right.
Confiscation orders. Game over. You know what I mean? They're making a statement.
Right.
Don't do this shit, as we will take you out of the game. And they did. They sat down, they watched everyone, and they fucking took everyone out of the game.
So that really was, it was literally
that was the beginning.
They wanted to make a big statement.
Yeah. I didn't get nicked in that bit really, but everyone I was friends with all got took out of the game.
Wow.
I left it for a little bit.
Did you see it as an opportunity? Did you think, oh great, I can step in?
Well, I should have stopped.
Well, that would have been a sensible thing to do. Yeah.
Exactly, but then there's other people who, come on, let's get back at it again, you can do it. And then I did it, Terry, and I got caught. What can I say? I got caught red-handed, and I probably should have got a lot longer than what I got really, but I was very lucky at that time. But it's not what they know, it's what they can prove.
Right, okay. I've not heard that.
They couldn't prove it, Terry.
Right, okay. But, so what did they actually catch you with?
I got caught with, I think it was 12 or 13 kilos of coke.
Right.
But it was just a start.
Right.
It was like with new people and all the rest of it. And yeah, and it was like we got caught at the beginning when they changed it all to it was category 1 leading roles and all that, yeah?
What does that mean?
Well, they changed the whole way it works with drug dealing.
Right.
As an organised crime group. So you'd have like category 1, category 2, category 3.
Right.
Leading role, significant role.
Oh, so depending on where you was in the pecking order, depended how much.
Right. So that changed in December. I think we got caught in the month before. So they had to go by the old ruling.
Wow.
So we just didn't, it was just a charge of conspiracy to supply. There was no category 1s or nothing like that.
Right.
Yeah. So we got sentenced on the old ruling, and I'd had a bit of trouble and all that. So I had mitigation. So we all got a lesson. We was all very lucky, really.
Right.
And yeah, so it was damage limitations. But if I'd have got nicked for that now, I'd be well tucked in. Yeah, well tucked in.
What did you end up getting?
I got we all got 9 years and confiscation orders and that. Was very, very lucky. But my confiscation order kept going on. They kept like coming back up, taking money off of me. After I got released, after I served my 4.5 years, I got nicked again in the English Channel, people trafficking.
Right.
So I ended up doing 2 years in a French prison. When I came back from the French prison, which was another terrible experience, awful, mate, unbelievable. What am I doing?
Right.
They reactivated my license, from the 9 years and added extra time. So out of that 9-year sentence I got, I ended up doing about 7.5 years out of it.
So when you was doing the drug trafficking, you was people trafficking as well?
Yeah, so I got out. I got done for the drug smuggling.
Right.
When I came out, I started bringing people into the country. I got caught straight away.
Right.
But it was like a lot of money at that time, and I was so desperate to get money because I was so far behind.
And what's the and when you talk about obviously people trafficking?
Yeah.
What I mean,
Well, people got this big thing about people trafficking.
Well, that's what I was going to ask
It sounds
you.
like such a terrible thing, doesn't it? Yeah. Right. But they think like we're not kidnapping people and bringing them in the country and saying you're going to go and be a prostitute. They want to come over.
Right.
So all you're doing is saying, can you give us a lift? Yeah. All you're doing is giving someone a lift.
Right.
But there's a border. That's all it is. They was all desperately trying to get into the UK. I think they were Vietnamese. And all I was doing was giving them a lift.
Right.
But obviously, you're not supposed to give them a lift over that line. So that's what it was.
Right.
So it was all willing to come. There was no like forcing no one.
Right.
They were desperate to come. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, what a bad mistake that was.
So literally, you just come out doing the 9.
I've been out for 3 months, yeah.
Wow. And then you thought, I'll make a bit
Straight
of
away
money.
got nicked again.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm desperate to get my money back.
Were they on you though, Glenn?
No.
Were you-
No, they weren't on me.
That was, just luck, that was just bad luck.
Just got caught, mate. Yeah, had a pull them out to sea. Engines broken, all that. Got sea water in the fuel. Right mess. Won't even get into it.
Right.
But ended up lucky, really, because I was right in the middle of the sea. And in the middle of the sea, it's called international waters. So when you're in international waters, either side can get you.
Right.
So if the English Coast Guard had got me, I would have got 2 years for each one. So I'd have got out of 16 years. But in France, it's nothing.
So if anything, really, the French are
I'm
encouraging
so lucky,
you.
yeah. No, the French don't care. And they don't get on. There's no communication between the two countries. They don't like each other.
Right.
The French don't like, they don't want to
I
help.
think they call us roast beef, don't they? But you were happy about that. You were happy.
So lucky.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we've ended up getting everyone back on the boat because we were stuck. We got us on this big lifeboat. Well, it's customs. So we're all on there. As soon as we got on the boat, they've realised that obviously we're the ones taking them. Do you know what I mean? So the cable tied us. So I'm sitting there cable tied up like that, yeah,
Right.
thinking, oh, man. And then I'm going back to France. I don't know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? I ain't going home tonight.
Right.
I ain't getting back in bed with my girlfriend. I'm gone.
Right.
So I'm literally getting taken over to France. Takes ages, mate. End up getting into France in the morning. We've been out all night. I'm absolutely f***ed. I'm thinking, oh no, what am I going to happen? What is going to happen to me? Getting in there, took us all off the boat. And we're in Calais in the police bit, you know what I mean?
Right.
Terry, there must have been 40 police, all got guns in their hands. It's a walk of shame. I've got off and they're going, criminal. I'm thinking, fucking, I'm walking like, no way, I can't even look at them. I was just such
The
a
French Shawshank Redemption.
mate. And they took all my clothes off me, yeah? All I had on was like a little tracksuit and a T-shirt. No trainers, because like the shoes are built into the dry suit.
Right.
So they took my dry suit off and put me in prison with no shoe, just a pair of tracksuit bottoms and a T-shirt. Nothing else. Nothing. And yeah, mate. And then they put some like, you know, like Kung Fu Panda plimsolls. Yeah. You know, like the little black plimsolls, yeah? I look like a proper weirdo, right? Put me and just chucked her straight into this prison in Calais called Long Ness. Oh, mate. I've never seen nothing like it. It was crazy. They chained us up. It was like the same thing as the Shawshank. They chain your feet up, so you're walking along with like these chains and that on. It's mental, mate.
What was, if you compare the French prisons to the British prisons, is the French better or is the?
Well, they don't really care in France.
Right.
They don't give a fuck.
They make you eat snails. Did you ever? Like...
No, they don't. But you can cook in yourself.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they
Wow.
don't care out there. It's much more blasé, do you know what I mean? And you've got all the European laws out there where you're entitled to maintain a relationship. So you can have a conjugal visit.
Right.
And in the UK, you're not allowed to do that. Over there, it's much more liberal.
So if you can cook and you got a bird, you're sweet.
Yeah, like they're taking away your freedom. And that's the way they look at it. We're just going to take away your freedom, but we're not going to take everything else as a human right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, to eat food. And you can just, like, your visitors can come up with just a bag of clothes. All your clothes in there, they don't care. There's no like prop card and all the aggro they do over here.
Right.
They literally just open the bag up, go through it all, and just get with you. There's no like big security deal, you know what I mean?
Right.
You can't do that in the UK.
You see, was there any violence in France or not?
Yeah, there's a bit of fighting and all that. Yeah, a bit of fighting. Because France is so full of like Algerians, Moroccans, because it's their French colonies.
Right.
And I didn't realise how big France is. It's huge. And how many French colonies there is around the world.
Right.
Especially in Africa as well.
Right.
And their first language is France. You know what I mean? French. But massive eye-opener.
Right.
I was parlez-vous français when I come out of there.
Oh.
The language of love.
Hello.
Boy.
Bonjour. Je m'appelle Glen the Offender.
Glen the Offender. Oh, mate, don't.
So when you actually got released from France,
Yeah.
did they ship you back to England, or did
Nah,
they just?
Well, this is the
goodbye?
thing. I
Au
kind of.
revoir.
Well, this is what happened was once I finished my sentence in France, I was in a bit of a predicament because he can have like conjugal visits.
Right.
So I met a girl in Spain.
Right.
It's just like a holiday thing, you know what I mean? And she ended up getting pregnant in the prison. It's called a baby parlour. So when I was released, there was a baby on the way, my first child. So I had all that going on. So normally what would have happened was I stayed in contact with my probation officer. So as soon as I got into prison in France, I started phoning my probation. I was like, look, I've been nicked, da. So there was obviously a warrant out for me to say that I would absconded and left the country. So, but because I stayed in contact with my probation officer, they must have took it off. There was some kind of cock up over the warrant.
Right.
So I'm thinking to myself, I thought they're going to come and get me and take me from France and put me straight in prison in the UK. I'm in trouble. I'm going to get a full recall here.
Right.
But it didn't work out that way. So when I got released in France, border police have come and picked me up, and they were sweet.
Right.
They were good as gold. So I mean, bit of bag and all that. But I'm thinking, as soon as I get over the border in the UK, I'm nicked.
Right.
But there's a chance that I might not be, because I'd stayed in contact with the solicitor. Yeah,
Right.
Not solicitor, the probation officer. So there was a chance, right, that I'm not going to get nicked. They took me to the airport, jumped on a plane, flown straight over, landed at Heathrow. Because I'm being deported, the pilot has your passport and that, do you know what I mean? So I'm right at the end. I'm at the end. I go on first and I come off last. So I'm sitting there thinking, please don't nick me. Please don't nick me. I've just done all this bit about. I've just done the 10 years before that. Like, I want to be out for a little bit. I just want to be free for a little bit. You know what I mean? It's just too much. So I've got up. He's going, yeah, come. Pilot's come out with a little steward. He's giving it to like one of the workers, you know what I mean? But he was only like a younger lad. So when the pilot's gone out of the way, I go, give me that. Just took the passport. He's like, no, don't be stupid. Ripped it all up, and it's got all paperwork in it.
Right.
To say that I've been deported in that. So literally, I've gone, yeah, don't worry, it's all good. And he's gone, oh, you know what you're doing? I said, yeah, he didn't know what he was doing, yeah? But he was meant to take me to the customs.
Right.
But he didn't, yeah? But I did that because I knew what I was doing. So literally, I had a couple of bags. I literally had all this paperwork to say that I've been deported from France, and I'm walking down all the corridors waiting to go through the customs checks, yeah? So I ripped up all the paper, threw it in the bins. So all I got is my passport. So I was thinking, please. So I just walked through. Hello, you're right. Oh yeah, you coming back? Yeah, just come back from France. Give him the passport, put it on there. Yeah, go through. And I was thinking, oh mate, I'm walking through. At any time I'm expecting them to grab hold of me and say, oh, come here. Nothing.
Right.
Got through. I'm like, yes. Come out, walked out. I'm free.
Right.
Jumped in the car and gone home. Lovely. So for 15 months, I was living around my area and nothing happened. I was thinking, lovely, this is it. So people were saying, oh, he's dodgy and all that because he ain't been nicked straight away. But all it was I played the game. Anyway, booked a holiday. This is after 15 months of being back at home.
To France.
Definitely not to France. I was banned for 5 years. I booked a holiday with my then girlfriend. Day of the holiday, I was getting some blinds fitted in my house.
Right.
So I postponed a holiday by a day. There was a day that you could go, yeah? Mate, in the morning, lying in bed, we're all ready to go, do you know what I mean? Lying in bed, I've just bare noise. And at the time, I had a big dog in the garden, big South African bauble, big one. And the dog's going mental, mate, yeah? Downstairs, because he can hear the noise. So I've on the stones at the front, looked out the window, just bare police, bare guns. The whole road's just full of police, mate. Literally, you couldn't get another car. There must have been about 10 cars. Riot vans. You got police with all these shields and that. I'm thinking, fuck. And they go, Glen Johnson, come to the door, open the door right now. I'm police. All that turn up. I'm like, no. She's in there shitting herself, you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, mate, this is it, man. So all I've got is a pair of pants. I had Superman pants on, I'll never forget. The Marvel ones. So I've gone down the stairs and I've opened the door. I said, listen, I've got a big dog in here. You've scared him. If you come in, he's going to attack you. So I put him in the garden, right? And they go, no, open the door. So I just close the door. I'm just going to put my dog out. So I've opened the door. The dog's in the garden. It's just all police officers with their heads over the fence. The dog's going trying to get them and all that. You know what I mean? So I've just closed the door, come to the front, open the front door. And they're like, come out. And the whole front door was surrounded. They've all got shields.
Right.
Like surrounding like a loop at the front door. As soon as I opened the door, there's all dots on me. You know what I mean? And they're going like, come out with your hands up and all that. But all the shields have got like little electric, like what they call stun guns.
Right.
Clacking away. But it's for the dog. They know I've got the dog. And they're like, come out. They're surrounding me. They ain't no touching here. It's all like riot shields. And I've gone out there, just surrounding me, put me on the floor, cuff me. I'm gone. You know, let me put a few clothes on. I've got full recall and all that. And then I just explained to them, I went to prison, I got locked up. I'm thinking, I'm going to end up doing another 3-4 years here. Yeah, I thought, I didn't know, I had no release date, nothing, you know what I mean? I was like, look, I've come back, I stayed in contact with my probation officer, and I wrote a letter and that, and then they was like, yeah, all right, we accept it, you've done your bit of time over there, but the 15 months that you've been back for, and the year that you was in prison for, we're adding that to your licence.
Right.
So my 9-year licence ended up turning into like 14, 15 years.
And does that mean that if
I could get activated at any time?
So if you get recalled,
straight back in.
Right, okay.
So they extended the licence by 15 months in a year, like 2.5, 3 years.
Right.
So instead of being on licence for 4.5 years, it was another like all that time again. So I was like, leave off, but we're going to release you. So I had to keep reporting all that time, extra time and that. But I ended up getting another recall. I got nicked for a shooting, and then they activated it again and put another month, 7 months. They put another more time on it, but made me do it all. So, Terry, mate, there's no getting out of it. You know what I mean? Like, if you fight the system, they'll make sure they get their pound of flesh out of you, you know?
And what happened with the shooting? What was that about?
There's a very unfortunate incident that I wasn't present at, you know? I won't go into it too much. There was a number of incidents that had happened, you know what I mean? But and again, Terry, it's not what they know, it's what they can prove. But the incident I got convicted for, I wasn't even there. Right. I got done for assisting an offender for murder. But there was no murder on it. Unfortunately, someone got shot and it was a tragic thing, you know what I mean? But it was one of them things that happened. But I wasn't there when it happened. But I got blamed for it, yeah? Right. People talking, grasses and all that, yeah? And it was a terrible thing for me because all I tried to do was help out a situation. The day after, there was a young kid was involved in a shooting. I took him to the police station to try and deactivate the situation. It was a very, very hostile thing. Everyone was dangerous, you know? So it could have got a lot worse. But the weeks before that, there was average incidents, which I won't go into because it was nothing to do with me, Terry.
Right.
But it was their way of like saying to me, we think you was involved in something. And I mean, I think unfortunately someone got murdered, yeah? Again, but it was nothing to do with me, Terry. I weren't even there.
Right.
So when I got nicked for assisting the offender, there was no charge. It was like released under investigation from 2018, into 2019. I'd had enough of it. So I wasn't on bail. I was just released under investigation. And I was being followed by units all the time. There was police coming to my house 3 and 4 in the morning in big armed response vehicles, getting out the car and putting a hand on my car bonnet to see if I'd been out. I found devices on my car, multiple devices on my vehicles, following me everywhere. Cameras on my house, watching my front door.
It's enough to make you paranoid, isn't it?
It was making me ill, Terry.
Right.
It was horrible, mate, yeah? Drones following me. I'll be driving, look up, the drone following me. Real heavy duty shit.
Right.
And I just had enough. And I've been fighting my whole life, professional, kickboxing, Muay Thai, mixed martial arts, Vale Tudo, that's my game, yeah? I thought, I need to get away. This is making me ill. And I was depressed, I was in addiction. I really wanted to escape of it. I didn't want it to get away because I felt like I was trapped.
Right.
I wasn't training anymore. And I thought, I'm going to Thailand. I want to go to Thailand, get out in the sun, loads of clean food and get into a big Muay Thai gym. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's Muay Thai centres out there. I've got a family in Thailand. I'm going to be in a good place.
But when that's one thing that we didn't touch on, Glenn. Actually, the fighting. When did you actually start doing that? What
I
age
turned pro in 2004, and my first fight in 2004.
Right.
Kickboxing first.
Yeah.
And that was another massive part of my life, fighting. Do you want to get into that, or do you want me to finish?
Yeah. I mean, let's go through the we can go into that properly.
Yeah.
But it was just to give the audience a little bit of context on the fighting, because obviously, so it's sort of to understand.
So when I came out of prison in 2004, I obviously had a big reputation for fighting. I was known to be a good fighter, and so naturally I wanted to take it to another level because I knew I had a gift, and I did have a gift. I just don't know what it was. I could move out the way. I knew when it was right to punch, and I was a very good street fighter, but I wasn't a trained fighter. Do you know what I mean? So there's a big difference between how to have a fight and a trained fighter. And then I just started training with a guy called Andy Jardine, who was a pioneer of British MMA.
Yeah.
He was the first person in the UK to do a cage fighting show. And everybody from that ilk, you know, guys like Lee Murray, Mark Epstein, Alex Reed, and a whole row of other top fighters. And everybody that Andy had trained all become world champions. So it all started off in a little gym in Denham. And it was called, oh God, this I'm getting old.
Right.
And it started out of like a little hut thing. And I missed this kind of thing. He had like Lee Murray in there, Mark Epstein. Oh God, so many of them. Alex Reed, James, oh God, so many of them. Right. It's so bad, but there's so many top level fighters come out of there, and they all started on Millennium Brawl. Right. This is like pre-2000, and when they first started doing cage fighting, a lot of the fighters went left. It was called Fairholmes. Right. Fairholmes, guys like Alex Evans, and there was like everybody that was fighting was a criminal. Right. The first level cage fighters from the UK was all fucking criminals. Right. Bad ones. Right. And then you also had guys like from Newcastle. He was the first
Ian
guy.
Ian
the Machine Freeman.
Yeah.
I don't think he was as bad as others, but there's no doubt he was a proper fighting man. Probably a little bit of a criminal, but managed to stay out of prison. But he was the first guy from the UK to get into the UFC. Wow. So he was like he set the level, you know what I mean? It's a big respect out to Ian Freeman. Yeah. He achieved so much. And then there was everyone after that was chasing the dream.
And throughout your career, you was undefeated, weren't you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I lost the kickboxing fight.
Right, okay. But how many fights did you have in total?
I've lost count because so many of them we wasn't recording. There was no like phones recording it. It must have been about 20 or something. You know what I mean? But my fighting was on the street. But my dream was to go into. I wanted to go to K1 Grand Prix in Tokyo. Right. That was my dream. And then because everybody had been learning Vale Tudo Jiu-Jitsu, and I was not that skilled in Jiu-Jitsu. Right. So even on my kickboxing, my stand-up was impeccable. I was the best. Like I was literally owning everybody I sparred with, and people used to avoid it because I was so long and I was so sharp and quick, and I got good legs as well. And I
was going to say that earlier when you sat down, Glenn. You've got lovely legs. You
got nice legs too. I like the jeans, mate. So I was so intent on learning the jiu-jitsu game before I did the cage. I knew I was going to go into cage fighting. Right. And that's when I was around people like Lee Murray. Right. Jeremy Bailey, Alex Reed was a big name at the time. Yeah. Mark Epstein, everyone had gone from Andy over to London Shoot Fighters because there was a big name at that time in London. Massive. But I stayed with the kickboxing team because we was Team Ronin, but at that time we was the best team in the UK. Right. And we was going to all the shows up and down the country, and we were winning. We was like high level competing, you know. And
I take it that. Obviously, the prison got in the way of you progressing that.
Yeah, well, I was so violent, but at the time, all the time I was doing all the fighting, I was still full-on criminal. But it was taking up so much of my energy. Right. So I remember when I was at London shooting that, Alexi and Paul, they was like, come, bruv, look what you got here, like, turn it in and come. Right. But I was so involved in coke, drug dealing and like doing so much stuff. How I fitted it in. Right. I do not know.
But then that I suppose then fast forward into the Thailand trip.
Yeah.
That gave you that opportunity to go, actually, now I can do.
Well, I had such
I
a
wanted
gift
to
and it was
do.
such a waste, but my attitude was because I had such a criminal record for robbery and drugs and that, I was never going to get into the UFC because everything was in America there.
Right.
But now it's over here. But back then I lost the love for it. I had a goal, I had a dream, but I knew it was never going to be achieved because I knew I was never going to get into America. They did it to Lee Murray. That's why Lee went and done what he done. You know what I mean? He was like, "F it. If I can't be in the UFC, I'm going to go and do the biggest robbery in history." So that was his attitude. He had so much energy, mad talent. You know what I mean? Incredible character. Yeah. You know what I mean? Murray. And all these people, even Alex Reed, some of the things I've seen him coming out to, you know what I mean? In silk dressing going on with in Union Jack hot pants.
Right.
This, you know, that what's that tune? Self-Preservation.
Yeah.
Society. I mean, you don't get these characters no more. You know what I mean? Lee Murray, yeah? Listen to this. Who does this? No. Lee Murray pulled up outside a club in Greenwich, yeah? In a bright yellow Ferrari, yeah? He's got a big fur jacket on, yeah? Cowboy hat, ripped jeans and cowboy boots on.
Right.
Like, who the does that?
Lee Murray
did not give a like.
Yeah.
What a character.
He was cool.
I
I never met him, but he was a cool
unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? Like Mark Epstein, the Beast.
Yeah.
Unbelievable characters. Do you know what I mean? Like
Great.
proper fucking men, proper fighting men. Do you know what I'm saying? And there's not that many people like that around anymore. You know? And like, so everyone was competing. Bad Boy Bailey, Ghetto. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's so many of these characters around, but we were setting the levels.
Right.
And then it was Cage Rage. The first Cage Rage is at the conference centre.
Right.
Electric.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go and watch the fight. You watch the Lee Murray fight. It's sold out. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking brilliant, mate. You get the knockout. You know what I mean? It's brilliant. And all these American fighters coming over getting fucking laid out. It was fucking fantastic. You know what I mean? And it was so good to see because obviously was watching the UFC when it first started. Ken Shamrock.
Right.
All these big fighters are coming over. And then our homegrown fighters were ironing them out. And we was like, this is brilliant. We're better. You know what I mean? So there's so much going on. And it was like such a beautiful time.
Yeah.
But that moment's gone now. But obviously it's prevailed so much and gone so...
And when you went to Thailand, did you get to live the dream or not?
What do you mean?
When you went to Thailand? Because you said you actually went out there to train.
I've been to Thailand numerous times.
That time when you picking up from when we was talking.
Yeah.
And then we went back.
It all ended then. Do you know what I mean? My fighting career was kind of half over. Do you know what I mean? Because I knew I was never going to make my money out of it.
Right.
But I still was very heavily involved in the gyms. I would always go around helping people because I've obviously got so much experience of high-end fighting in cage and kickboxing.
Right.
All the training that I've done. I've also go all up and down the country to spar with people because I was struggling, you know what I mean? Because no one wanted to spar with me. So I had to try, if I heard someone was a little bit tasty, I'd be on the phone like, and I'd go there, you know what I mean? Or would they come to me? And a lot of Brazilian fighters, guys like Leon Nagao,
right.
red hot Vale Tudo fighters from Rio de Janeiro. I mean, hard as they come, you know what I mean?
Right.
These kids were fucking naughty, mate. They come from the streets, you know what I mean? And, big respect in Brazil is MMA, Vale Tudo. Right. If they know you're involved with it, they'll give you a wide berth, you know what I mean? Right. But real genuine respect and just same kind of people, you know? Small circle, but yeah, I kind of missed the ship really.
Right. But then when you actually was in Thailand, you had a few problems, didn't you? When you went
yeah, so when I went
to get away from it,
trying to get away.
Right.
Obviously, the shooting thing had gone on, and the police didn't even really know. It was all like hearsay,
just people talking shit,
just people snitching and just chucking names in and saying he did it and did that. They didn't really know anything, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But obviously, a lot of stuff had gone on. But I'm not going to sit here and indulge into that. So I'm in Thailand. I'm not on the run. I'm not wanted. I'm good. Yeah, literally within 3 days of landing in Thailand, I'm told charges have been issued for the shooting. I'm like, oh, fuck off. So I'm on licence, yeah? So I know I'm getting recalled because the charges are, from what I was told, was assisting an offender for a murder.
Right.
So I'm thinking, fuck's sake, I'm recalled. So if I just come straight back, I'm fucking straight in prison. Fuck this. I'm having a holiday.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's been all years and years and years of bollocks. I'm staying over here. Fuck 'em. I'll wait until they come and get me. Do you know what I mean? But I'm thinking, they're not going to come and get me because it's only a recall.
Right.
And the charges are assisting an offender, but I didn't do it. So I'm not even really that worried about it. Do you know what I mean? So my family out there have been out there for years. They've got businesses. They're legitimate. Do you know what I mean? They're good as gold. They're looking after me. So I was staying with a family member in a lovely big villa, you know what I mean? Out in the country a little bit, swimming pool. I'm thriving, mate. Yeah, I'm literally training all the time. I'm eating really healthy, put loads of weight on. I look so healthy. I'm literally, this is what I needed because I was stressed, man. Getting followed everywhere. It was horrible for me, you know what I mean? And I was loving it. It was like getting replenished with life again, you know?
Right.
Anyway, I got a phone call and he's like, mate, do not come back to the fucking house. I'm like, why? He goes, the Thai police have been here. What's it called? Customs and all that, yeah? They're going to nick you. I said, for fucking what for? He goes, they said that you've killed someone. They're nicking you. I was like, fuck off. And he's like, yeah, I'm telling you. He goes, it's serious. You're like, you got to go. So I was like, oh, fuck, man. This is the last thing I need. Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are they going to nick me for? Do you know what I mean? And he was just serious, you know what I mean? And then they had connections in the police and that as well, you know what I mean? So I see the printout and it was red notice, murder. I see the writing in red writing, murder, no bail in first instance from the police in England. But they must have been fucking lying, do you know what I mean? But I'm thinking, there's the warrant. They're going to come and get me. This is serious. So I thought, this, man. I'm off. They can't find me in Thailand. So I just f***ed off.
Right.
Just f***ed off. And I just didn't have a visa, but I just kept moving around, do you know what I mean? How are they going to find me? So it was going on and going on, tucked in, got another little apartment somewhere. I'm just sitting down. I'm all right. Teaching a bit of kickboxing. There's loads of white expats out there, do you know what I mean? I'm knocking about with them, doing a bit of work here and there, do you know what I mean? I'm not even supposed to be working, but I'm getting helped out, you know what I mean? So don't need that much money to live. I'm thinking, I've got to stay here for a little bit and see what's going on. So obviously I was hearing about what's going on and everything, people being nicked, but they're all on bail, right? And even the kid that done the shooting was on bail.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, I wasn't even there, but I know if I come back, I ain't getting bail. I'm thinking, fuck this, I'm getting persecuted. I ain't coming back. Mate, this has turned into a bad day at the office. You know, like you see it on a thing, banged up abroad.
Right.
This is how it started. Anyway, 6 months have gone by. And I've got a friend that was a friend of a police officer. So I'm hearing stuff, I'm getting it. Like they're looking for you. Right. Like they're looking for you. Like be careful, right? So I thought, fuck it. You know, you can buy anything on the internet, yeah? Right. So I've got I've got all new ID and all that. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I've got a driving license. I've got a fucking, what's it called? You know when you're allowed to go to college and that in London?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
So I've got a permit, a work permit, all that shit, right? So I'm all right.
Yeah.
So, and I've got a police officer, yeah? I've got the police, yeah? But only local, you know what I mean? But I'm thinking, I can't touch me. I'm the Teflon done. All that money time, right? Anyway, this is how it started out. So I'm told they're looking for me, right? They're on you. So one of the local girls had come up to me, yeah? And she said, look, there's pictures of you. They're offering money to find out where you are. I'm like, fuck off. So I've moved again. I've gone to another apartment block, yeah? In a different area. But I'm living, they call it the dark side. So one side of Pattaya, yeah, in Thailand, is all lit up where the walking street is, all the clubs and that are. And then there's a big main road, like a motorway goes, and then you've got the dark side. They've got no street lights. Because it's not all like that in Thailand. Do you know what I mean?
You thought, fuck it, I'll go to the dark side.
I'll go in the dark side, yeah. I'm safer over there.
Right.
I live in the dark side and I'm not going to stick out so much over there where all the police are. So anyway, I'm coming around. I've got a little scooter. I'm riding around. I've noticed things. So I'm half aware that they're looking for me, right? But I'm starting to notice things, right? I was going up a road one night and there was a big snake going across the road. So I've stopped the bike. I'm filming the snake, yeah? I'm looking at the snake. A truck's pulled up, right? 2 geezers got out of the truck. And I'm thinking, and they're looking at me, you know, and thinking, what's this geezer looking at, yeah? But I know that they want to grab hold of me. But I'm a fucking Muay Thai fighter, mate. So they're thinking twice. If he grabs hold of us, he's just going to kick the fuck out of us, yeah? But I felt the vibe, you know what I mean? So I'm like, as I got on the bike, driven off, they're looking at me like that. But I remembered the truck. And they're like, I've driven off and all that, and then they're turning around, I've just shot off. So I'm thinking, nah, I'm just being paranoid, you know what I mean? Come back one night, and there's a couple of taxi drivers, and they're pointing at me and that. So I've gone into the apartment block, gone through the downstairs, there's like a security downstairs, but I paid him off. There's 2 of them, yeah? Like I paid him off, I give him a crate of beer, and I give him a bit of money. I said, listen, if anyone ever comes in here, you don't know me, no problem, right? In the block of flats I'm living, there's a mate of mine, yeah?
Right.
He lives on the other side, but he looks like me.
Right.
Big white fella, comb over, with tattoos. He looks like me, yeah? So I've come back one night, I've been out all night, it's early hours, and I've got cocaine in the apartment, right? If you get caught with cocaine in Thailand, you can get fucking killed for it, yeah? It's like a real problem. So I've come in, right? And I know I'm being followed. They ain't seen me go in the apartment block, but they know that I'm in the block. Literally, Terry, I've gone in, I've closed the door, and I can hear them. I can hear all the boots, yeah? I can hear all the boots running around. Radio's cracking, yeah? And I'm thinking, they're on me. I can hear them knocking on doors. Hello. Papers, yeah? I can hear it. And I'm thinking, fuck. So I'm literally turned all the lights off. I'm on the floor watching, and I can see them walking up and down outside the hallway, yeah? I'm thinking, shit. So I've got all this in my ear. I'm thinking, I'm gonna get a death penalty, yeah?
Oh, I doubt,
So I've just literally climbed over the balcony, gone into next door, because I knew it was empty, gone in there, and just flushed it all down the toilet. Shitting myself, got rid of everything, panicking. Do you know what I mean? I've got a gun in there as well. So I've thrown a gun out the thing. I don't want to get nicked, you know what I mean? So I've gone back in there. I can hear them knocking. They knocked on my door. I ain't answered it. I'm shitting myself, right? I'm thinking, fucking hell, it's on me. They've gone, right? Come out in the morning. My mate's phoned me up. He goes, fucking hell. He goes, you ain't gonna believe what happened to me last night. I goes, what? He goes, all the fucking customs and all that have knocked on my door. Come in my apartment and all that, searched the apartment and fucking had to show him my passport and all that. I went, you've saved me. They thought I was you, yeah? Oh. They thought you was me, yeah? And that's why they've left. So I thought, right, they know that I'm in this building, yeah? So I've literally moved again. Gone again, I'm thinking, I'll be all right. Coming out one night on my little moped, I've noticed, I remembered the Jeep, the truck. I've looked at the truck. It's like a few cars behind, but there's 2 or 3 of them following me, yeah? I'm thinking, nah, you're just being paranoid. But it's a unit, it was a 21-man team looking for me.
Wow.
I've literally torn down this track. I thought, fuck it. But I did it by mistake. I was like looking around. I was like, because I like to know the area. This is what I do from young. Right. I like to know the shortcuts and all that. Because I'm on a bike. If I get chased, they ain't getting me. So literally, there was a track here that I hadn't been down, like a dirt track. I thought I'd go down there. So I've driven down the track. It's a dead end. As I've turned around, guess what's come around the bend? 3 trucks. Literally, and they just stopped. But the thing is, they're shit scared of me, Terry. Right? But I didn't know that. And they're all looking at me like that. And I thought, wow, I just shot off. That close to getting nicked, mate. I've shot off, and then I've completely gone to ground. Left it for about a month, 6 weeks. I've started training again. So I'm literally coming in the daytime to the Muay Thai gym, training for a couple of hours, yeah? Doing a bit of weights afterwards, having a sauna and jacuzzi. There's a place called the Q Sauna. It's lovely. And you've got like big baths, hot water, cold water, steam room, jacuzzi. And then you can have a lovely shower. And then they give you like a big fruit meddling.
Right.
Big tray of fruit. And you get all your fruit and all your drinks and everything. Then a fresh bit of tuna with all vegetables and that. Literally sat on the table, just all sorted myself out. Started tucking into the bit of food. Bosh, I've seen them pull up. Look like that. It's like that prayer before dawn.
Right.
You know that when it gets nicked and that, yeah? It's like that, yeah? They've got all the guns in it, they've got machine guns out, and in Thailand, they don't fuck about, mate, yeah? If you start fighting with them, they'll just shoot you. So I'm thinking, shit. So I'm sat there, I've looked like that, I've looked at the back door, and I've just seen a big fucking van pull up, and they're all coming in the back door. So I'm sitting there like that, and they're going, hello, I look like that, and then it's all surrounding me, guns out. Who are you? And then that was it, I got nicked, man.
Right.
And then, straight into I was in the police stations. They were trying to interrogate me, trying to find out where I lived. I wouldn't tell them nothing. And then, they just, it's like, look, you're going back, you're getting deported. You know what I mean? Like, there's a warrant out for you. And it's murder. So, I was in the police stations for weeks and that. Cockroaches climbing over my legs and everything. Horrible, mate. Yeah, real bad. Put me in 2 or 3 different police stations. Then eventually they got me back to Bangkok, put me in a place called the IDC, Immigration Detention Centre. Horrible gaff, mate. I mean, filthy dirty, just full of wrong-uns, like sex, like, and I don't care, just chuck you in there, do you know what I mean? So when I got in there, I'd already made a couple of phone calls to my people, and I had people in there. So there was some Hell's Angels was in there.
Right.
So there was like, look, when you come in, they give me a little spot. We go in a room, it was like a big room, there was 88 men in my room. No beds, no pillows, no blankets, just on the floor like that. 2 little tiles, like arseholes to belly buttons. You know what I mean? Like literally like that, you know, and they take your shoes off you, so you've got no shoes. So there's all geezers touching your legs and that's all like, oh, it was horrible, mate. And they give you a fucking scoop of rice and a cup of, I look like sick. You know what I mean? To eat. Yeah.
That's put you off Thai food, is it?
Well, lucky for me, I had a pocket full of money, but you can buy food as well.
Right.
So, yeah, mate, horrible standing there. And a lot of the guys, there've been guys in there, been there for 10 years because they've got no passport and their countries don't want them back, yeah? So they're just stuck in there. But horrible gaff, mate.
And then they deported you back to the UK?
Yeah, well, what I did was I tried to be smart, so I paid them off. You can pay over there, do you know what I mean? Because it's so corrupt. I paid them off and bought a flight, hoping that they wouldn't tell the police. But yeah, mate, after I think it was a few weeks, weren't that bad really, 6 weeks or something, come back. And I said to the guy, I spoke to my mate on the phone, he said, you're going tonight. It's all booked and paid for. I was like, you sure? He goes, I promise you're going. So when I went back to the cell, I said to the guy, he was like Australian or something, but he was very jealous because he couldn't get out. He'd been in there for ages, 6 months, and he was desperate to go. And I'd only been in there for a little bit, and I was like, look, I'm going. No, you ain't going yet. Because I'm telling you, and he said, your name ain't on the list. All right, sweet. 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, come bosh, they opened the door, called my name. Yeah, and I hated everyone in there, and I couldn't help it, Terry. When they took my bag and I got me stuff, they closed the gate, and there's all like bars you can see in there. I went, fuck the lot of you. I just walked out. I couldn't help it.
Right.
I hated them.
Right.
It was going to go off, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many little dickheads in there. Right. It was going to be party time. Like,
right.
Hey, you talking to? And they were bullying them, and there was guys in there with mental problems.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I felt so sorry for them, and it was going to come to a head very soon. So I'm pretty glad they got me out of there. Yeah, so they took me back to the airport, same kind of situation as before, put me on the plane, and same thing over there, like deleting all the stuff off my phone because I think the police are going to get it, you know what I mean? Right. Landed at the airport, everyone's got off the plane. I'm at Heathrow. Pilot comes out, just about to give me my passport. I'm thinking this might happen again. No. Looked out the door. There's 8 armed police there with all the gear on and a woman police officer. Walked out. I'm thinking I'm getting nicked for murder. I'm waiting for the moment. Glen Johnson, I'm arresting you for murder. The rest of it. So I'm walking out of that. I've got a pair of Muay shorts on, right? Pair of Gucci Batman flip-flops. Sliders, yeah?
Right.
I've got a Nike Air Jordan vest on,
right,
and a Louis Vuitton handbag.
Oh, right.
And a Compton baseball cap. Yeah, brown as anything, big and muscly, massive. I've literally walked out, standing like that. I'm shitting myself. I think I'm getting nicked for murder. No, assisting an offender for murder, and there's a recall. So I'm thinking, well, what's all this for then? Do you know what I mean? Literally surrounding me, 4 at the front, 4 at the back. It was like I was some kind of mass murderer.
Right.
Marched me through the customs and that, took me around the back, put me in some riot van, and took me to Basingstoke police station, where they officially charged me with a case and all that. In court the next day, my missus brought me loads of clothes in it because I had nothing, you know what I mean? And they were so scared of me, right? I swear to God, it was like I was some kind of monster. When they put me on the bus, when they took me from the police station, took me to the court, yeah, the geezer just literally opened the door. I had no handcuffs on and literally just walked off. They were phoning for backups for all the other units to come to the court, yeah, thinking I was going to kick off on it, you know what I mean? Right. But I was thinking, no, of course not. Opened the door in the van, I got out of the van, I could have just run off.
Right.
Like, they were so scared of me, and I just walked in the court and that, and they just reminded me. And They ended up recalling me for I ended up going in a recall straight away. They added another 7 months or 8 months it was I was on the run for to the end of that license that they'd already had the license to.
Right.
Fucking hell.
Never
Never
ended
ending,
licence.
mate. Yeah, never ended license. The license finished in 2017, the original license. I was still serving time in 2021 for it. Yeah, they f***ed me for it. They really, really got me. And
So how long did you have this time?
so they added 8 months extra. So I had to do 8 months recall. And then I started they give me 21 months for the crime. I had 2 trials. I had a mistrial. And the worst thing was the police said they don't want to pursue it. But the prosecution took it on. And they got guilty on a second trial. And so I got 21 months. So I got to do 7 months. I ended up doing 18 months behind the door. And then 4.5 months on tag.
Right.
I wasn't even there.
Wow.
I wasn't even there, Terry. You know what I mean? I got done. It was ridiculous.
When you come out this time, Glenn, was that when you thought, I'm done with
This, man. Yeah, just like, I can't be f***ing, mate. I've had enough of it. Do you know what I mean? So
but I'm gonna spit at Terry,
it was just a big
write a book,
yeah.
make a film,
Well,
TV series.
I didn't trace it really. It's just like, it's happened, isn't it? Like you've come to me.
Right.
Which is even more enticing because I'll be honest with you, Terry, I'm not proud of everything I've gone through. Do you know what I mean? I've done some naughty shit.
I mean, obviously, we and to put this out there, we've only just scratched the surface. This is just literally an overview of the amazing lives and times of Mr. Johnson.
I mean, we're looking back at it, it sounds exciting and all that, and I know I'm saying it with energy, but
Right.
at the time when I was living it, it was energy, but it ain't good, man. You know what I mean? And I'd highly say to anybody that's young or getting involved in crime and that, go and have a way, man, because you know, like with all this terrorism shit now, the police have got so much technology, man. You're f***ed. You know what I mean? They've only got to get your telephone number, mate, and they tap it into their machine, and everything you do on your phone comes up on the screen. They can follow you everywhere. You've got ANPR, you've got cameras down every street. The police have got cameras in every vehicle. They've got facial recognition. You're fucked, mate. Once your name's...
So you can't commit any more crimes.
not without a balaclava on anyway, mate. You know what I mean? No face, no case, mate. But yeah, I just, like, I wouldn't want anyone to go through what I've gone through.
Right.
You know what I mean? Trauma, PTSD, you know what I mean? Domestic violence in the prisons, you know what I mean? Fighting, getting stabbed, shootouts. How I'm still alive, I do not know.
You've got someone looking out for you, mate.
I think I'm here for a reason. Do you know what I mean? The dolphin was looking out for me. I'm still thinking about the dolphin.
No, the dolphin was like, look, Glenn, don't get nicked because Terry's going to make a movie.
But it's refreshing for me, really, because now I've come to the end of it all.
You've seen the light, right?
As my dad always said to me, there's always positive and negative.
Yeah.
So, and he's absolutely right. So, you know, I'm coming back in a big way and I'm turning it all around, Terry. So it feels good for me to give something back, you know what I mean? And if I can help, I can see, you know, someone that might have mental problems or someone's in drug addiction, well, I've been so much, I can relate to them and they'll just start talking to me and they'll open up because you don't open up to many people, you know, it's very hard to open up if you've got problems. But if you start talking to someone that's been through so much shit, it's almost like a comfort.
Right.
And
one thing I wanted to ask you, Glenn, like for anybody that's watching this, that's either thinking about doing crime or, you know, they feel like they need to do something they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
And because you've been through it.
Yeah.
What would your advice be? Would you what advice would you impart on somebody that was thinking about going down the wrong road?
I'd just say, the thing is, the day and age now we live in, right? We live in a police state, yeah? The technology that the police have got, they never had that back in my day.
Right.
Like once your name is highlighted, you're done. You're done for. Like if you're drug dealing, you're going to prison. You're going to get nicked eventually.
It's not if, it's when.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how bad or hard you are, yeah? Or how serious you are, yeah? If you want to be sitting in a cell, knowing that someone else is having sex with your girlfriend, it's going to happen to you, mate, yeah? That you're no different from no one else. So if you want to go down that road, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. You can't get away with it anymore. Like, yeah? The technology that the police have got now to keep counter-terrorism, all the police stations have got it, and they're using it on now for normal crimes because it's at their disposal. Do you understand what we're dealing with here? So the chances of you getting away with anything
I suppose in a way,
small.
I suppose in a, but then if we did live in like what you were saying, yeah, because at the minute there's like massive crimes every day. People getting their houses broken.
Nothing doesn't get investigated. Everything's looked at now.
Right.
They'll catch out of you. And they go back, you know what I mean? Like any serious crime, like shootings or stabbing, something like that, they'll just go back. They've got phone evidence. There's a footprint on your phone. Right. They'll track you back through video, CCTV. You know what I mean? Your phone was at a mast. You know what I'm saying? You really need to think about what you're doing, mate.
Right.
Yeah? Because it's so much more than just doing it.
So I need to get a mask and lose my phone.
You lose your phone, burn your fingerprints off. Like, yeah.
Right.
It's committing crimes off the bat, mate. You're going away.
Well, Glenn, honestly, mate, I've really enjoyed having you on.
Yeah.
I've loved hearing the stories. I know we've only touched on a few of them, but we will definitely be doing a part 2.
Yeah.
But for everybody listening and watching this podcast, you know, Glenn's book is going to be available. Make sure you click on the link below and get yourself a copy because, as I said, this is... there's going to be stuff that we talk about that isn't in the book, and there's going to be stuff in the book that we haven't talked about. So you watch the podcast, you read the book, and then you got to watch the movie or the TV series. There's a lot of exciting stuff happening.
It's going to be massive, mate.
It'll be brilliant.
I'm so amped. I'm so gassed. I can't wait.
Wicked. Well, thanks for coming on, Glenn.
Yeah, lovely.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Criminal Connection podcast. Glen Johnson, what a crazy life. What amazing stories. Don't try this at home. Make sure you tune in again next week because we've got another amazing guest and we will see you on the other side.